Comic Timing is member supported by listeners like you over at patreon.com/comic timing. Guess what? The Zoom bill is due. Woo! And you folks there at the Patreon help ensure that bill gets paid. So for as little as $1 a month, you quite literally keep this show recorded, happy, healthy, hearty, and give yourself something to listen to in the process. And we thank you very much for that continued support over at patreon.com/comic timing. It's as easy as $1 a month, and you get access to some behind the scenes stuff occasionally, like articles, extra audio, extra video, diary entries, whatever we can throw your way. And once again, thank you for that support at patreon.com/comic timing. If you want to give a one-time donation, that's also available at paypal.me/IAM sci-fi. Yippee-ki-yay. Hey there, folks. My name is Ian Levinstein, and welcome to episode 281 of Comic Timing. And those of you who listen to our show episode by episode, you just heard one of these. So guess what? Now you got another one, because the last episode we put out was the March previews just in the nick of time. And this time we're giving you a little bit of a leeway, to say the least, on your previews action. Joined as always by the one and only Adam Murdo. Welcome back to Previews Club, Murd.
Pleasure as always to be here, Ian and Raph.
Indeed. Yep. There's Raph Suhu. He's in my left corner, and he never leaves.
I want you to pre-order as hard as you can.
As hard as you can. And that's what we're all here for today, is giving you as many options as humanly possible to put in your pre-order pile, and hopefully not get it be too big, but it probably will, because that's
absolutely.
If you want to make Raph happy, buy Imperial Guardians.
Yes, please! Please!
Bye.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. The episode artwork for this episode in particular also will make both myself and one Martheus Wade and one Julian Lytle very happy, as we got a new Power Rangers book that's coming out. So we'll be talking about that and a whole lot more in this very episode. So let's go ahead and get the party started here with the usual start these days, which of course is the Warner catalog, as that's where a whole bunch of it is. So we will begin with the beginning here and get us started with Abrams this month.
And I believe the very first thing out of the chute is an interesting looking manga that's even interesting looking to me.
Yes. Billy Bat.
Volume 1 of a thing called Billy Bat. No connection to Captain Marvel's alter ego here. This is by Naoki Urasawa and Takashi Nagasaki. It's the story of a manga creator who does a manga about a character called Billy Bat, a cartoon bat who's also a clever little detective. It's set in 1949 LA, and this guy's having success with Billy Bat until it comes to his mind that he might have accidentally plagiarized his main character from a sign or a poster he saw somewhere back in Japan. So he goes back there to ease his conscience, to try and tease out the origins of this character that he thought he created, only to discover that its provenance extends back through literal millennia of Japanese history and culture. It's a very interesting, historic meta-manga detective story.
Certainly, and by, quite frankly, one of the best mangaka in all of Japan.
Absolutely.
Naoki Urasawa has not only created some of my favorite works, but some of the most perennial works of the past couple of years. Pluto, which is an excellent anime, if you get the opportunity. Obviously was a manga first, but the anime adaptation on Netflix is fantastic. It's also available in some other places. Of course, Monster, which was the first of his that I found, and 20th Century Boys. I lapped that shit up. Like, 20th Century Boys is to this day one of my favorite mangas of all time. So yeah, very happy to have a new manga out there by Naoki Urasawa.
I personally haven't read or watched Pluto yet. I was waiting for the sequel, Goofy.
You're fired. You're fired. Please leave the call immediately.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me. It's been a great pleasure. 20 years. 20 years of podcasting with Ian, and I finally broke him. It only took 2 whole decades.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, he'll put out the Goof Troop manga in the next couple of years, but yeah, no. God damn it. No, Pluto though, seriously, anybody who's a fan of not just Urasawa, but manga history in general, that's another one to check out, because there's Astro Boy beats in there and a whole bunch of other stuff. So yes, check out Billy Bat Volume 1 here on page 4. I most definitely will be, and very much look forward to it. And then there's this on page 5. I've not had this much Abrams Comics art stuff to talk about in sequence since we started doing the Lunar catalog. Yeah, we talked about this happening, and it's not a fairy tale. It's actually real. John Byrne's fan fiction being published for real by Marvel via Abrams Comic Arts. X-Men Elsewhen, Volume 1 of 3, written and drawn by John Byrne, originally available on his message board. For fans of John Byrne to check out unofficially, with no connection whatsoever to Marvel. For years, apparently, Marvel executives were trying to get John Byrne to publish it, and he was like, no. So I guess they must have given him a giant truckload of money to make this happen. As now here it is in giant size Abrams format. We get Volume 1 of 3 of an alternate continuation of X-Men history after the events of Dark Phoenix. So this is essentially what if John Byrne had remained on the book afterwards and his vision was actually able to occur. And this is from the original ending of the Dark Phoenix saga. So Jean Grey is alive in these comics. She is alive and powerless, which was going to be the original ending of the Dark Phoenix saga until it was changed for her to die, and then she eventually got better, but that's beside the point. So X-Men Elsewhen, Volume 1 of 3 here on page 5 of the catalog. Any of you folks interested in what the hell could have happened will definitely want to check out this. So
I might get it. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. I will get it if there's a good deal at New York Comic Con, like if Abrams does their two for one deal or something like that at New York Comic Con this upcoming year. I may very well consider it. I am not paying full money for this. It is $39.99 US for 232 pages, which ain't too bad. It's just still, I will wait until it gets cheaper than that. So.
For
page
all
5.
of you pre-order people, DCBS has it for $25.99, 35% off.
Not bad. Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm mulling it over.
This still feels like a fever dream, though, that it's actually happening.
Right? What's next? Alan Moore takes credit for a superhero book?
No, not going to happen.
No.
Definitely not going to happen. Nope. And if you're interested in Cover to Be Revealed, the art of Marvel Animation's Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, official behind-the-scenes companion to Disney Plus animated series, no artwork available on page 6. Even though it's an animated series, and they could have easily just put a picture of that up there.
Yeah.
Oh, well. All right. Go past this month's selection of previously available through other publishers and distributors. We'll get past that. The Last Ronin, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles novel. This expanded adaptation of The Last Ronin reimagines the best-selling TMNT graphic novel in an action-packed noir novel, perfect for fans who grew up with the Turtles, written by Eric Burnham. So no slouch to the Turtles and The Last Ronin for that matter in general, with some illustrations in there by the Escorza brothers to go along with it. So if you're looking for a prose version of some TMNT, you can find it here in this edition of The Last Ronin on page 11.
Dude.
Mentioned specifically for you, Raph, as I'm sure you'll probably be interested in that.
I mean, it may or may not be in my cart already.
I haven't talked about this much manga in a long time. We're at Chisakobe Volume 1 by Minotaro Mochizuki. Quirky, poetic manga about a young, gruff carpenter's attempt to keep his family business afloat, all amidst a wacky, found family drama and romance. So if you're looking for something a little bit more romantic and a little less chaotic, then Chisakobe may be what you're looking for here on page 12 of the catalog. New Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Party Pooper, Deluxe Collector's Edition. So it's not new necessarily. It's just a collector's edition for any of you Diary of a Wimpy Kid folks out there who want it nice and fancy there on page 16. Let's go a little bit further down into Ahoy. See if they have anything new, and the answer is no. It's everything just ongoing Babs. There. Yep, just Babs. So instead, our Archie for the month. Archie Comics' 85th anniversary presents Archie American All-Stars, OS. So get patriotic with Archie, with Tanya Del Rio on the scripting for this, with artwork by the one and only Dan Parent, Bob Smith, Jack Morelli, and Gwen Whitmore, with a first appearance of the new character and soccer star Eternity Fields, just in time for the FIFA World Cup.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Coming to American soil.
Yes, indeed. Coming to American soil, and $100 train rides that only folks going to FIFA can do between New Jersey and New York.
I'm not looking forward to the traffic.
Avoid the trains at all costs that weekend. Avoid them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I may make that a weekend to be up in Albany and not be anywhere near the city, quite frankly. It's going to be a murder.
When is it again?
Later this sometime in the summer. I forget the exact date, but we're definitely approaching it.
I will be sheltering
July
in base in
19th.
Stone Harbor, most likely.
There you go. Let's
And
see.
if it's, as long as it's in July or later.
Yeah,
If it's in June, I might have some problems.
Let me see. So it starts June 11th and runs until July 19th.
So
Yeah.
I just can't leave the city for 2 months.
No.
I would love to.
Well, it's not going to affect us until the final, because the final is the only one that's really going to be in the Meadowlands. Everything else is spread out throughout the U.S. And I think there might even be some Mexican venues as well as part of this. So they're basically spreading it out throughout North America for this one. So yeah, the only one that matters for us is July 19th, where I'm going to do my best not to be here. So yeah,
I'm just not going to leave the apartment.
there you go.
That's fine.
No, they'll
I'll go
find
to
a
the
way.
movies.
They'll find a way in.
I'll go to Regal and I'll watch 3 movies in a row or something.
There you go.
I'm in high school again.
You're gonna find FIFA World Cup players on that roller coaster at the beginning of every Regal movie. Like that's how they're gonna infiltrate that way.
Can't escape.
Ooh, good facsimile this month. Life with Archie number 42.
Yep. This features the first appearance of Archie's superhero alter ego, Pureheart the Powerful. Mm-hmm. Beginning a whole series of Pureheart stories. Eventually, he acquired a few superpowered friends and enemies, like Betty as Super Teen, and Jughead as Captain Hero, etc. Yep. And this 32 pages, $4.99. I would probably be buying this if I didn't already own a trade paperback that Archie put out maybe 10 years ago, collecting all of these Pureheart stories.
Well, there you go. Page 28 for that, as he takes on the one and only the Ice Cube, but not that Ice Cube, not the rapper. Not gonna happen.
Right. No, this is the diabolical Superfink Ice Cube.
Exactly.
Not the actor in the thrilling hit movie War of the Worlds.
No, definitely not. Dear God, why did that happen?
Sometimes bad things happen in the world.
Mm-hmm. This could be a fun thing on page 32. Virginia Woolf's Orlando, adapted by Jules Shelley. This is the classic novel Orlando, which tells the story of a poet adrift in time. He starts out his life as a nobleman in Queen Elizabeth I's court, and her story concludes as a 36-year-old woman in the present. So this is a graphic novel adaptation of this story. Powerful and essential graphic novel adaptation of a vital British classic there on page 32. Who's afraid of Virginia Woolf? Not me. And then we go a little bit further. Curses! Offered again from Avery Hill Publishing. Sometimes I think I see things out of the corner of my eye behind a door. I catch a glimpse of something. It's like a curtain caught in the wind, and then it's gone. From hospitals to hell to the wilderness, George Wywasal's short stories take place in liminal spaces where nothing is as it seems. The surreal becomes real, and something is lying in wait around every corner. As our main character navigates through corridors, passageways, and highways, they sink deeper and deeper into everyday strangeness that slips into peculiarity, creating an eternal journey from normalcy to the supernatural. That is what you can find here in Curses on page 40 of the catalog. Into AWA we go. Ooh. Pencils by Dennis Cowan with inks by Bill Sienkiewicz, written by Brian Edward Hill. This is the Illuminati trade paperback. Charlemagne the God presents the Illuminati trade paperback with some excellent names behind it. 5 issues all collected here. Get some great Bill Sienkiewicz inks on top of some gorgeous artwork to begin with. So do check that out if you're interested on page 48 and you didn't check it out the first time. And then if you want half the trade paperback, just look at the previews that AWA puts in there. All right. Tankers versus Ancient Aliens. Bad idea, bad idea, bad idea, bad idea. The most insane comic of all time. That might be hyperbole right there, but, you know, who knows?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what the craziest comic I ever read was. Maybe does Axe Cop kind of fall in there? But that's like an 8-year-old kid's mind. Of course, it's going to be a little out there.
I mean, it still counts as crazy, though.
Sure. I guess Axe Cop would be up there. Maybe some of the really awful Mark Miller stuff that he did.
Oh, Lordy.
Like Nemesis. Yeah. I don't really like Nemesis at all.
I think Dark Knight Strikes Again goes up there for me.
Yeah, that's gotta be the undisputed king.
Yeah. Yep.
Scud the Disposable Assassin was pretty huge, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Scud the Disposable Assassin was pretty damn nuts, but intentionally so in a delightful way. Mm-hmm. But this year, Robert Venditti of Superman 78 joins forces with Tomas Giorello of Planet Death and Trevor Hairsine of Deceased and a battalion of comic all-stars for a bone-crushing action blockbuster. The tankers were sent back 65 million years into the past with a simple mission: to use their weaponized mech suits to divert the asteroid that annihilated the dinosaurs and buy a little more time before extinction and a lot more future oil reserves. But deep in Earth's prehistoric past, something far deadlier than dinosaurs lies in wait. A species of star-faring, super-advanced ancient aliens. So we throw in a little Stargate in there for good measure. So, all right. Tankers versus ancient aliens here. Quite literally what it is in the description. It's tankers versus ancient aliens on page 57.
Also dinosaurs.
Descriptive title.
Yep. They should have had that as the parentheses underneath Murd.
Right.
Also dinosaurs. Yep. All right. Past the 87 different variant covers of this that Bad Idea has put forward. I hate their solicitations. All right. Let's go ahead and get past that almost entirely because all of this is there. We'll go with introducing the Olympus Saga Megalith Old Masters edition here. This is issue 2 of that, written by Matt Kint with art by Louis LaRosa, colors by Laura Martin, as we go into Van Gogh here, or Van Gogh, depending on which era you want to go with.
Mm-hmm. Whichever era or pronunciation you go with, it's a near guarantee it has nothing to do with what's happening inside the comic. So,
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Why is it here?
Well, you see, money. That's why. My pure money. Yep. So, own your very own Vincent van Gogh, drawn by him, we swear, on page 81. So, hey. All right. You know what? I'm done with bad idea. It's a bad idea to talk more about them right now. Let's go way. Yeah.
Is it though? Is it a bad idea?
Yeah.
Too many damn repetitive.
They do
3D
give away a lot
gimmick
too.
stuff. Yeah. Also, almost everything else is mid-story. So instead, let's see if anything catches our eye inside of Chronicle here. Penny, a graphic memoir, previously offered through other distributors, our favorite words, by Carl Stevens. The colorful graphic novel features the philosophical and existential musings of a cat named Penny. Available for you here. So any of you cat folks may want to check this one out to get into the mind of a cat. And Carl Stevens has that for you there on page 116. Ooh. Actually, let me go back up here for a second. Disney Animation postcard box. Just to mention the postcard boxes once again. 100 Disney postcards available for you there on page 117. Ha ha!
Oh boy!
It's a great idea.
Yeah, do you want to know how I got these scars?
Oh no! Oh whoa! No!
I don't know why I just default to the Joker speech from Dark Knight every time. It started as a gag to like what was the most unhinged thing I could say is Mickey Mouse, and now it's just my Mickey Mouse.
No, I appreciate it. It's in.
Do we know? Do we really appreciate that?
Oh yeah! No, absolutely. Yeah. Why so serious? All right. Here we are with DC. No more bad idea, just DC. And starting things off here on page 118, otherwise known as page 1. We'll zoom out a little bit more here and get to the Summer of Supergirl Special, number 1, written by Sophie Campbell, Mark Waid, and Gail Simone, with artwork by Belen Ortega, Chian Torme, and Emma Kubert. So we get the quiet town of Midvale, which is shaken to its core when Supergirl finds herself face-to-face with the galactic bounty hunter Lobo. This has nothing at all to do with the movie that is coming out this summer, but can the Maiden of Might stand up with the main man? Plus 2 bonus stories celebrating Supergirl as she resumes her rightful place as the heir to L. Yep. Pure coincidence that Lobo's in this one.
Oh, of course.
Yes, and that Supergirl is in this month's issue of Lobo, as we'll see a couple of pages later.
Of course, yep. Interesting alternate Supergirl costume there on issue 14 of Supergirl by Sophie Campbell. As nothing can stop Black Flame as she continues to amass power and candor. Meanwhile, Lena Luthor searches for Supergirl before it's too late for the Bottled City. That there on page 2/129. And a blast from the past, we are now 1 issue away from issue 1100 of Action Comics. $10.99 right here. So file your taxes and read Action Comics. As Mark Waid and artwork by Scarlet Partridge and Patricio Del Pecci bring us Zotar and Superboy and the Justice League as they turn their attention to another mystery unsolved.
I got the water variant.
Nice.
Yeah.
My headphones just came out. One moment. One of these days I'm just going to start using wireless ones, but oh well.
Ian, edit this out.
Yeah. Ian, edit what out? Me?
I'm just saying, you don't want a lot of dead air.
I mean, look, man. Also, yes, but Superman number 29, Superboy Prime versus DC Comics.
Yeah, we got Josh Williamson leaning pretty hard into the meta aspects of the Superboy Prime character and just kind of sending him on a cross-time caper across a bunch of different versions of continuity, ramming into different versions of himself in the DC universe along the way. And it's all drawn by Dan Mora, so we should buy it.
Of course. And in the corner there, Raph, I see an electric blue.
Yes, the only character that matters on that cover is the Electric Blue Superman.
Yes, of course. Yes. Man, if you had told me a couple of months back that I would actually be excited about seeing Superboy Prime back in comics, I probably wouldn't have believed myself. But it's been some fun stuff lately with Mr. Whiny Pants. So he's turned himself around a little bit.
Real quick.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for somebody to do the same for Alex Luthor of Earth 3, but we've got all of time to wait.
Yes, we do.
Top corner, I think, is supposed to be 78 Soups. Right under him is like Loose Strip Soups. And then the middle right is animated series. Bottom right is Burn. Bottom center is, of course, one of the greatest characters of all time, Electric Blue Superman. And I think bottom left is New 52 or Jim Lee inspired, at least. Oh, it looks like Jim Lee art.
And behind his head is Reign of Superman era with the black suit. Yep. Yeah, Mullet Man. Good old Mullet Man.
And I guess upper right is Silver Age with the Man of Steel rescuing a cat from a tree.
Yep.
Yeah, I was trying to piece that one together, but it's a little smaller on my screen.
Yep. And then the reign of the Superboys comes to a close in Superman Unlimited issue 14 by Dan Slott and Lucas Meyer. So we find out how that's going to come to its end there on page 3/130. And then an interesting Elseworlds here. Supergirl Survive. Yep. Ethan Parker and Griffin Sheridan with art and cover by Rod Rice. Kara Zor-El lives a life of small problems. How are you supposed to hold a floppy little baby like her new cousin Cal? Who should she ask to the spring formal? And when will her father and her uncle Jor-El stop squabbling? But the planet Krypton has big problems, like the militaristic dictator Zod ruthlessly crushing dissent and threatening to unleash the planet's most dangerous weapons on the opposition. When things boil over and Krypton begins to burn, Kara and her infant cousin will find themselves trapped together in a prototype rocket, struggling to survive in a hostile universe that doesn't care if they live or die, and which might prefer the latter. So, very fascinating take on Supergirl here in a world where they both take off in the same rocket, and it certainly happens a little bit later on from the looks of it in Supergirl's lineage. So, Supergirl Survive #1 here on page 4/131. Really love the artwork.
Yeah, I haven't touched the DC part of my order, but I might get that.
Nice.
Oh, now this is interesting too here.
Ooh.
Yep.
We're looking at page I don't know what yet.
Page 133/6.
And it's the first issue of a new Dead Man series, possibly ongoing. It's a little hard to tell, but it's by the same creative team that brought us Ice Cream Man from Image and the recent Superman, The Kryptonite Spectrum. It's a Dead Man series by W. Maxwell Prince and Martin Morazzo.
Yep.
And these Dead Man is one of those characters that's always seemed better to me in a supporting role than as a starring character. The Phantom Stranger is in that same category. But from this team, I'm certainly going to at least give the first issue a look.
Yeah, I mean, there have been a couple of Dead Man miniseries that I've enjoyed over the years, but I will agree that he is incredibly effective when he's a part of a story. This one does look like it's going to be an ongoing as of now, as is the case with most of the Next Level books, but I'm sure that if they don't reach their threshold by issue 6 or 12, then it might very well wind up becoming a maxi series unintentionally. But
this has potential. Mean 6 issues? Unlike a certain other company that cuts them off at 5?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Marvel. Oh, by the way, today Marvel Studios wound up letting go like 3/4 of the people that were working full time at Marvel Studios. So, yeah.
Yikes.
Yep.
That can't be a good sign.
Basically, everybody in the vision department. So everybody who was like behind the look and feel of Marvel properties, whether they be movie, animated, or TV, they're now going entirely freelance with that. They're not going to have full timers. So, yeah, over 1,000 Disney jobs were let go today as we record this. Industry, baby. Oh yeah. Yep. But we're not talking about Marvel yet. We're talking about DC, and we're talking about a series that will hopefully do well. So, Dead Man #1 here, once again on page 133/6.
And on the next page, get a quick look at some suit designs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like it. I like his casual look and the new action suit. And then, as previously mentioned, Lobo and Supergirl are together in Lobo issue 4 here by Scotty Young and Jorge Corona. Once again, big shock on that one. That's on page 8/135. And we get issue 4 of Rucka and Danny's Batwoman series here, as Kate Kane is put through the ringer, quite literally, in her war against the dark faith. So issue 4, Batwoman there by Greg Rucka, and issue 2 of that Barbara Gordon breakout series by Mariko Tamako, also there on page 9/136. Scarecrow's Reign of Terror continues in Absolute Batman issue 21. A very, very different Scarecrow for us here. And it looks like we may even get some Two-Face action involved in this particular issue as well.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much for that. That is your one. I've
actually snuck in. That's the third one I've snuck in that you just haven't paid attention to.
We just got to the absolutes, man. Come on. I like his long hair. Very, very anime of this version of Two-Face. I like it. They're on page 11/138. They are resoliciting Absolute Catwoman #1, which is not a good sign, but because I swear we talked about that last month, but there it is again, and Absolute Green Arrow #2 on that same page 12/139. Absolute Superman's greatest battle yet, as Superman versus King Shazam versus Hawkman versus Redacted, in the greatest battle the Absolute Universe has ever seen. But who is their absolutely mystery challenger? You will find that out on page 13/140. I got to it first this time, Raph.
Ultimately.
No! That's gone now.
Yeah, unfortunately.
For now, until it comes back. Planet Earth in Peril and Absolute Green Lantern issue 15 there by Ewing and Sid Kotian. And the Rogue Strike Back on that second thing here, Absolute Flash issue 16 by Lemire and Robles, page 14/141 for that. Fraction and Jimenez continue their Batman story here with issue 10 of Batman, as one Dark Knight can't keep the Batman down in that story. And a visit to the mayor's mansion for Poison Ivy in issue 45 of that Poison Ivy series, page 15/142. Feet of Clay, Barf, in Harley and Ivy, Life and Crimes, issue 6. Really love the cover of that one there. Very reminiscent of the animated series.
Yeah. Apparently Ma Hunkel has gotten herself mixed up with Harley and Ivy.
Okay. Why not?
Not a name I was expecting to hear from.
Mm-hmm. Page 17/144 for the adventures of Buckethead herself. And Black Canary, Green Arrow, and Batman continue their Detective Comics adventures, written by Tom Taylor there, in issue 1110 of Detective Comics. Innocent Girl or Deadly Assassin? Both. I say both. The battle is only beginning in Wonder Woman issue 34 here on page 19/146. Tom King, Daniel Sampere, This is the Wonder War, Act 1. A brand new storyline here for Tom King in the 34th issue of his Wonder Woman series. And we get some action of the Super Buds variety here of Guy Gardner, Hawkwoman, and Metamorpho there for Justice League Unlimited issue 20 by Mark Waid and said Dan Mora. Looking forward to that. Action Pals, Justice Guys, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
You know, Dan Mora doesn't do enough.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't sleep. The man doesn't sleep. He doesn't eat.
No.
All he does is draw. Meanwhile, vengeance is upon the JSA and their continued story here on issue 20 of JSA. Jeff Lemire and Diego Orlategui for that Spectre story that's going on there, page 20/147.
With words that make me involuntarily start twitching. Find a new host.
Uh-huh.
Oh, again?
Who's it going to be this time, and for how many weeks?
The
Let's Spectre he's not Captain Universe, you know. He's supposed to choose like one host per generation, or at least a couple of decades. Jim Corrigan lasted about half a century, and
then it was Hal.
Yes.
And then it was the dude from Gotham Central, right? I'm forgetting his name.
Addicts.
Crispus Addicts.
Yeah,
right?
there you go. I believe so. Yeah. Crispus. Yeah, Crispus Attucks. Oh, wait, no.
Okay.
No,
Crispus Al.
Christmas Allen. Yeah,
there we go. Yeah, Crispus Attucks was an American sailor.
Right. Christmas Attucks was an actual historical figure.
Yep.
Right. We were close.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got there after a while.
I'm going to go with Blue Devil as the host this time. You know, why not? Why not? You know, let's just think of somebody we haven't thought of in a while. Detective Chimp is going to be the new host of the Spectre. You know, let's just throw anybody we want in there.
Better idea. Let's think of somebody who makes sense and who might actually last a few years in that role. I
mean, hell, I thought Hal Jordan made sense back in the day. But
I knew damn well even then at the beginning it wasn't going to last.
Somebody I know. Yeah.
Want to bring him back and do something different with him, and then they'd have to drag Spectre and Hal Jordan apart and smush the Spectre Force together with somebody else, and it's just a bad road to travel.
Well, we'll see which traveling road is going to be traveled here on page 20/147. Ooh, Mount Titans, new home for the Titans here, as the new got smacked onto their name a couple of months back. Tate Bromble for New Titans issue 36. Very proud of them for not making it New Titans #1 and just continuing the numbering from the previous Titans series.
Hear, hear.
And the future of the Phantom Zone is on display in issue 9 of 12 of the Adventures of Superman Book of L, number 9 there on page 21/148. Ooh. Yay! Flash versus Grodd, my favorite. Ryan North and Gavin Guidry give us some Grodd Wally action there in the Flash issue 34 as gorillas attack. Mr. Terrific get on the action here as well. And Hal Jordan guest stars in Emperor Aquaman number 18. And Jeremy Adams obviously has experience with both characters, so that should be good times there on page 22/149. Ooh. The Manhunters press the attack in Green Lantern Corps issue 17. Always like me some good Manhunter stories there for Green Lantern, so we'll see where this one goes. Page 23/150. And then DC's award-winning Pride celebration brings us Justice League Dream Girls, a DC Pride event by Jadzia Axelrod, Nicole Maines, and Greg Rucka, with artwork by Nicholas Scott, Jay Bone, Brant and Stein, and Claire Rowe to go about that. Brand new weekly miniseries from DC Pride and DCU Superstars. So you get issues 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 all solicited this month on page 152/25. Ooh. Mark Waid and Adrian Gutierrez bring us part 2 of Standoff in Skataris. Love it.
Batman, Superman, and Travis Morgan the Warlord versus the Tyrannosorcerer.
That's going to be... Oh, I can't wait to read this.
You know, the name of the character was staring them right in the face, and they went for it.
Wade deserves an Eisner for the name of that villain alone.
Yeah, get them the Eisner right now. I'm going to call every member of the committee.
Yep, definitely. And then, goodbye, Bizarro World, as issue 2 of Bizarro Year None by Kevin Smith and Eric Carrasco graces our presence there on page 26/153.
Seem to be publishing this miniseries on a bi-monthly basis, which is, given that it's Kevin Smith and his sometimes spotty track record, it's probably just as well to give him that kind of lead time.
Agreed entirely. It's better than one issue every 6 years. So, yes.
Widening what? Something about a Geyer? I don't remember.
No. Never happened. No.
Okay.
And then the second issue of DC X Sonic Meta Legion. That Sonic sure is getting around, man. He's crossing over with everybody these days. But Ian Flynn and Adam Bryce Thomas bring you the second of the Sonic crossovers there. And yes, that is Dr. Robotnik in one of Lex Luthor's suits.
Isn't that great?
I love that so much. Man. Page 27/154 for that. Right. All the Vertigo series are mid-story right now. We get issue 3 of the Swamp Thing 1989, otherwise known as issue 90 of the original Swamp Thing series. Rick Veitch and Tom Mandrake continuing to finally have that story be published on page 157/30. And then the DC facsimile of Avengers JLA, issue 2 by Kurt Busiek and the one and only George Perez. So issue 1 pre-ordered last month with Marvel, and now issue 2 pre-ordered this month with DC. And a facsimile edition of the very first Lobo comic there by Keith Giffen and Alan Grant, with art and cover by Simon Beasley.
I may have had that at one point.
I'm pretty sure I did too, to be honest with you. I don't know if I still do, but yeah, page 31/158 for that. Supergirl and the Legion of Superheroes, issue 23 facsimile edition. Wade and Kitson during their reboot Legion. That's where Supergirl came into the story for quite some time there. And a work in progress Woman of Tomorrow issue 1 by Tom King and Bilquis Evely bring us the black and whites of the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow for us to look at there.
Apparently in an oversized format, so you can really see the detail in Ms. Evely's original art pencil work.
Very nice. All there on page 159/32.
And here is a great candidate for facsimile edition treatment. Detective Comics number 359, first appearance of Barbara Gordon as the new Batgirl.
Oh, yeah. I might just get the foil.
Of course you're going to get the foil. Don't even say, oh, maybe I'll get the foil. Maybe. I know you. You're getting the foil.
I mean, what better way to profane a wonderful landmark Silver Age book than to put 90s foil all over it?
Of course. Why not? It's okay. It's still going to have those lovely ads from the era inside of there. So you're just combining eras. It's perfectly fine.
That's very true.
Yep. All that on page 33/160. And then DCKO in full. All 5 issues of DCKO available in trade paperback. Scott Snyder, Joshua Williamson, Javi Fernandez, and Zermanico there on page 34/161. And the DCKO All Fight, which has a whole bunch of the crossovers of DCKO all in one trade paperback there. So if you didn't bother tracking them down, you can all get them all here. This is going to include everything from DCKO Superman versus Captain Atom, Aquaman issue 12, Wonder Woman versus Lobo #1, Titans issue 30, Harley Quinn versus Zatanna, Flash 28, Superman 33, and DCKO Red Hood versus the Joker on page 35 there.
All of that underneath a cover by Scott Koblish, who we've learned is pretty good at squeezing a lot of characters onto a single cover.
He sure is. And we'll have more of that when we have time to do the research for the second issue. So it's coming, folks. Don't worry. Mm-hmm. All right. The debut of the Terrific 10 in DCKO Justice League Unlimited. Wade and Mora there. That's issues 12 through 16 of the JLU comic. And the DCKO Superman there. That's issues 28 through 35 of the Superman comic. Page 36/163. A very shiny Superman logo to go with it.
Very movie style.
Yep. All right, now this looks like fun. Stuart Gibbs, Bharat Pekmechi bring us Bruce Wayne, Not Super, the Bat Catastrophe. Trying to catch a villain in the act of villainy while trying to learn the ropes of the superhero thing has 13-year-old Bruce Wayne exhausted and struggling at school, although he is far more frustrated by the fact that Selena Kyle has a crush on Batman, but not him. And when Jack Napier and his hulking sidekick Bane are recruited by Hugo Strange for a high-stakes heist at Gotham City Bank, Bruce will get a second chance to prove he has what it takes to defend the streets of Gotham. So very much a all-ages Batman story here, and Bruce Wayne, Not Super, the Bat Catastrophe, page 38/165. A 13-year-old
like fun.
Wayne outside of Gotham. So there you go. It does seem like fun. Get some Jolly Fish Teen Titans Go collected here. Issues 7 through 12 of the Teen Titans Go on strike, plus Matthew Cody, Ivan Cohen, and others along for the ride there. So any of you Teen Titans Go fans or Jolly Fish fans have a trade to pick up there on page 39/166. And we get volume 2 of Absolute Martian Manhunter, The Agency on the next page, and the full trade paperback of the Batman Static Beyond miniseries there. An Elseworld story told for you on page 167/40. Year 1 of JSA, a.k.a. volume 3 of the title, by Jeff Lemire and Gavin Guidry, collects issues 13 through 18 of the series there. And the second volume of Dan Slott's Superman Unlimited, also available there, page 169/42. And an excellent volume of Superman Batman World's Finest for you there on this next page. Volume 9, The Merger. Mark Waid and Mark Russell bringing you that there from Batman Superman World's Finest, issues 44 through 49. As we get further down, the compact edition comes to Injustice Gods Among Us. Tom Taylor, Jeremy Kaprick, and Mike S. Miller. Basically the story that really fleshed out the video game universe and made it make sense. And that's what year 1 of Injustice Gods Among Us did. And Tom Taylor, that was just some of his earliest DC work, and I think he did a great job with it. So that's well worthy of the compact edition there, and Metal gets it as well.
I have such a mixed feeling about Injustice because it's a great story and everything, but it's it spawned an entire legion of people who want to see evil Superman, and I don't care.
Well,
I don't care to ever.
If they want to see that, they could just watch The Boys. So it's fine.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Just don't take mainstream. We don't need to finish Zack Snyder's Justice League is what I'm trying to say.
Yes, you are absolutely right by that. And they're not gonna. I'm calling it here. So it's fine.
Yeah.
All right. We got some DC finest for you. We got hard traveling heroes for you, and most importantly, Crisis on Earth X. So that's some excellent crossover right there.
Mm-hmm.
I could use both of those. I think I have a copy of Hard Traveling Heroes. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
I have a little like a paperback novel-sized reprint in black and white.
Oh wow!
Like the first handful of those early O'Neill and Adams stories.
Nice.
I think I got a trade during Midtown.
I think my dad found it at a yard sale or something.
Okay. Yeah, the Hard Traveling Heroes that I have is from like maybe 2010 or something like that. So it was a while ago, but yeah, no, that's cool that you have the version you do, Murd. I'm sure that's probably hard to find.
Yeah, I'm guessing so, but it doesn't contain all the stuff reprinted in this trade. So
I may beg for help soon because it's been 2 years since I've been back here full time, and I've barely touched my comic collection, and I need help.
It's okay.
I just need help. I did the math. If I actually did collect the way I say I collected from 1997 till now, it's closer to 30,000 comics. But I don't think it is. I think it's closer to. I think it's more 20,000 than 30,000. But 20,000 is still an obscene amount of comics and real estate.
Yes, it is. You could build a house with all that paper.
I very realistically could.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about this Crisis on Earth X here. That collects Justice League of America 103 through 132.
Yep.
That is a lot of comics.
To be clear, only about 2 issues of that actually encompass the Crisis on Earth X story. But
yeah, I know. Yeah,
it's the first couple of stories though, and those are the stories that introduce the old Quality Comics characters to the DCU, and 5 of them teamed up here as, 6 of them teamed up here as the original Freedom Fighters.
Yep. I think I have those issues in one of my volumes of Crisis. What is it? Crisis on the Multiverse. They put them out as like those basically those collections of all the Earth 1 or 2 crossovers.
Right, JLA, JSA. Yep. I think there were 5 volumes of them, and this was certainly included in one of those 5.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep. And then Suicide Squad, the Nightshade Odyssey. Ostrander, Suicide Squad. Ain't nothing wrong with that right there. So that's there on page 45/172. And then for you Deadman folks who are interested in what happened to Deadman before his Next Level series, Deadman by Kelly Jones, the complete collection here. Mike Barron and Tim Seeley are the writers there. Kelly Jones on the artwork. This collects a whole bunch of comics. This has the Action Comics weekly serial, Grave Doings, as well as Deadman and Love After Death, Deadman Exorcism, and a new tale from Batman the Brave and the Bold, issues 13 through 16. So, Deadman out the wazoo right there. Although it doesn't have my favorite Deadman miniseries, the one that we covered on Back to the Bins back in the day, which was the one where he was going through the different DC crises, essentially, like going back in time and dealing with those. Yep. That was good stuff. And then the 2026 edition of Firestorm: The Nuclear Man by Jerry Conway, Eduardo Pansica, and Rob Hunter there. Collects Firestorm: The Nuclear Man stories from Legends of Tomorrow issues 1 through 6. And I think
oh my god.
I think I'm finally gonna go ahead and sink it down on this. Like they've done it before, but this is the 2026 edition. Now that Kyle is back in the wheelhouse of the Green Lantern books in a bigger fashion, they are putting out volume 1 of Kyle's Green Lantern. So this is going to collect Green Lantern 48 through 57. New Titans 116 through 117, and Rebels with a whole bunch of dots, number 1, by Ron Mars, Darryl Banks, and Romeo Tongal, comics creators who reinvented Green Lantern for a new generation. Hey, My generation.
Us.
Yep, exactly. How about us?
I think I have an earlier trade of version of this, so
You probably do.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm 50-50 on getting this. It's
I
a
remember
big month.
I remember when they came out with it for I think it was like maybe 5-6 years ago, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So happy to see that back in print there. And for that matter, the Chris Priest Deathstroke gets a 2026 edition. So any of you folks who missed that the first time around, that's back in print as well. They're on page 47/174. All right. Finish us out here with some Aquaman by Jeff Johns, book 1. Jeff Johns and Ivan Hayes. That was a very important reboot by Aquaman to kind of put him back in the main DC eye at the time. There, this collected issues 0 through 13 of that Aquaman series,
which would have been part of the New 52 wave of launches.
Mm-hmm. Yep, one of the few books that was good. And then okay, to be fair, there were about 5 or 6. The rest of them were kind of all but well. And then Tom King's third book of his Batman story here. We get the marriage that didn't wind up being a marriage. Spoilers on page 49/176 here of that. And then to close us out, Gail Simone's Birds of Prey Omnibus Volume 2. For any of you folks who may have missed it or just want it all collected in a nice trade package. Nicholas Scott, Ed Benes, Paolo Siqueira, and others on the art chores. Gail Simone and a couple others in there on the writing chores. And then Gotham City Year 1 by Tom King, Phil Hester, and Eric Gapster gets a deluxe edition, and this is well worth a deluxe edition. This is an excellent comic book. Chris Eberly loved this as it was coming out. Gotham City Year 1 deluxe edition there on page 51/178.
Well, we keep trying to close it out, but DC keeps throwing more collections at us.
Oh my god, I'm going to spend so much money this month. I didn't really want to do that.
A big fat 900-page hardcover omnibus of all of Jack Kirby's Commandy.
Oh my god. Wow.
Issues 1 through 40 with some additional writing by Jerry Conway and art by Mike Royer.
Oy, oh my god. Like Murd said, we just wanted to be done with DC, but they keep putting out good things. How dare you? And then book 5 of the Milestone Compendium, and then I think from there. Oh no! Wait,
oh my god! Stop it! Stop it! My wallet can't take anymore.
Superman: The Triangle Era, Omnibus Volume 3. The Reign of the Supermen begins. Oh man, I remember I got my issue of the Return of Superman. There used to be a guy that would set himself up with one of those old school comic book tables right by the Kings Highway station on the queue line, and I remember walking past that one day on my way home, walking past the I think it was the Citibank if I remember correctly, and there it was on that table, and I'm like, I'm gonna buy this. And then I bought it. And then I suddenly started reading Superman on a monthly basis after that. So it was...
How they get you.
Exactly. That's how they get you. And I remember this fondly, this era, the mullet Superman era was my first real era of Superman. So yeah, do check this out if you're interested in the 90s and why this was as big as it was. This is the full Reign of the Supermen here, including the return in omnibus form. And then Batman, The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, collected in full.
I'm waiting for that too.
Yep. Page 180/53.
That's like $300 to $400 worth of trades I've just looked at that I'm eyeing.
Yep.
There was one more thing at the top of that page.
Yeah. There you are.
There we go. It's a complete collection of Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor and friends. Power Girl stories from the mid to late 2000s, including all 27 issues of the Solo series and that 4-issue arc in JSA Classified that was a lead-in to Infinite Crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I remember that. I have,
that was great.
I have them all.
Yeah. Yep, I loved that series. That was terrific. Great Amanda Connor artwork to go with it, and Palmiotti and Gray involved with it as well. Winnick, Johns, stalwart stuff right there. Yep. All right, I think we can safely go past the omnibus there for Teen Titans. Okay, good.
I'm bracing.
We're good. We're good. Okay. We're good. All right.
DC is behind us.
We're safely out of DC. Oh, look, AEW, Dynamite.
Yeah, I don't need to buy anything. I don't need to buy anything for that.
Right,
I just watched it on TV.
Okay, good. Then onward we go to Marvel here. Once I bring up that catalog, voila, here we be. All right. And this one will probably have a little bit less. Not intentionally so, but we talked about on a recent episode that a whole bunch of the Comic Timing folks were on of Donovan Morgan Grant's podcast, that for the first time in years, DC is beating Marvel in sales. And I kind of want Marvel to step it up a little bit, to be honest with you. This might be quite possibly getting there, having Zdarsky involved with an Avengers event, but, we shall see.
I think I have...
Avengers Armageddon.
In my list here, I'm buying like 5 Marvel comics in the month of June.
Sounds about right.
I don't even... I know I buy Uncanny and Adjectiveless. I know I buy Avengers. I know I buy Mortal Thor. And, of course, I buy Imperial Guardians. Mm-hmm. Please buy it. Please give me more Darkhawk.
Yeah, that's
if
one
you
of
care
my
about
5,
my
Raph,
sanity.
I'm buying it. I'm there with you.
All right.
I really loved Imperial too. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it was good times. Avengers Armageddon number 1 of 5 here. Chip Zdarsky, great Coriandre's cover there as well. But I know that's the variant cover, but it looks great. Deliel Diaz and Frank Alpizar on the artwork. This one's not lying about being 5 issues. This is just a 5-issue miniseries. There's no chance of it continuing, so at least they're upfront with that. As Armageddon has arrived, with Red Hulk's devastating tear across the globe, which must be stopped. But will it take a colossal gathering of Earth's mightiest heroes to do it? Calling in the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, Wolverine, and more. But who will survive this super-powered cataclysm? We will find that out in Avengers Armageddon. Then, as we go further along, we get some interior artwork, which looks pretty damn good. It looks like Captain America has seen better days. We'll find out why. As the story is being told there. All right. Meanwhile, speaking of Mr. Zdarsky, issue 12, we're still dealing with Doom and Captain America in his story, as we're frozen in hell here. After S.H.I.E.L.D.'s campaign in Latveria meets a brutal and violent end, Captain America finds himself in the last place he expected to be, alongside the last person he expected to see again. Whereas Victor Von Doom been since the fall of Doom, and what does he want with Steve Rogers? Find out here as everything hurtles towards Armageddon. So this is the lead up to that, essentially, in this issue of Captain America, which is technically, why is my PDFs are acting a little bit wonky this month. It's not really letting me get to the bottom of a page without immediately skipping to the next one. So it's hard for me to get the answer on what a actual page number is.
Well, I can help with that, Ian, because I've got good old-fashioned paper here in front of me. So
thank you, sir.
All right. Okay, page 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 9 we're looking at there with Cap.
Yep. Okay, excellent. Then page 10 here will be Queen in Black, number 1 of 5, by Al Ewing and Iban Coelho. Another one that I'm actually interested in here, as Hell on Earth comes forth. On the farthest edges of the solar system, Null, god of the void, builds a brand new army to destroy Earth, but Hela of Asgard might have gotten there first, as she makes planetfall with a legion of the galaxy's deadliest symbiotes. So we're combining Thor and Venom here, both of which are Al Ewing's playgrounds, and we get ourselves Queen in Black, number 1 of 5 here on page 10 of the Marvel catalog. And then we go further down. And when we go further down, we get a Jonathan Hickman and Adam Kubert Spider-Man miniseries. Okay.
Amazing.
No, this one's just called Spider-Man. There's no amazing before it.
Right. Well,
Spider-Man.
Some Way Home.
Some Way Home, exactly. Spider-Man Long Way Home. number 1 of 5 here. Hickman, Kubert, Hulk, Punisher, yes please. It's a world before the Punisher, a world where the existence of the Hulk is but a whisper of a rumor, a world where AIM has just developed a cosmic cube in the jungles of South America. Frank Castle, Bruce Banner, and Peter Parker are all on a mission to keep the cube out of the wrong hands, including each other's, in this 3-way free-for-all for the power of the cosmos. Who will come out on top? Yeah, this sounds awesome.
This would have made a great arc in Marvel team-up back in the 70s.
Most definitely. Yeah, good call there. But excellent creators, plenty of Marvel pedigree to go along with it. Love me some Kubert artwork. This is going to be a good time here. So Spider-Man Long Way Home, issue 1 of 5 on page 12 of the catalog. And by 12, I mean 16. I hate numbers. All right, anyway. Hey, this one actually has a number. Infernal Hulk issue 8. Earth's mightiest heroes reunite to stop Infernal Hulk, leading them deep within the Earth, where they find an ancient weapon that could save humanity from another age of monsters, but is even a god-slaying weapon enough to stop Infernal Hulk. And this features the return of Scar. So Philip Kennedy Johnson bringing Scar into the mix here. The prodigy of the Hulk there on page 19. Love the cover of Doom Quest issue 2 here. That is great. Yep.
That's a variant we're looking at there, and the main cover on the facing page is pretty sweet too.
Let's see. Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, Doom has a Tommy gun.
Meow, you never get me, Shay.
No one can mess with Doom. Love it. Oh, man. So, yeah, Ryan North's second issue of his Doom Quest series there on page 20. Do check that out. And do check out every single cover because they're all great.
It's Doom on the Titanic. Stranded back in time without his armor, without any of his technology, just his own superior intellect to keep him afloat.
Oh my God. Just the idea of him on the Titanic, especially there's a show that's now on Broadway that I saw off Broadway multiple times. It's called Titanic. It retells the story of the Titanic as if Celine Dion was also on it, with a whole bunch of Celine Dion songs thrown in there for good measure. This is not that, but still, gotta love me some Titanic stories.
No, I think I'd pay $4.99 to read a Doom versus Celine Dion battle royal.
Oh yeah, it is. How you say, a thrill, a joy, a great joy. And then from the universe of the Fantastic Four movies, we get Charles Soule and Mark Buckingham bringing us the origins of Shalabal from Fantastic Four First Foes. So get further information on the female iteration of the Silver Surfer that appeared in the movie. So if you're interested in that and more, you can get that here in this very comic on page 22. And then Wonder Man is continuing to be reborn in Reborn Ultimate Impact. He's reborn, you see. Mm. And is it just me, or does that look a lot like Eclipso?
Kind of. I can see it.
It's just you.
Yeah.
It looks like something, but Eclipso's not.
Something about I think it's just the bracelets that first caught my attention. Well, no, Eclipse doesn't wear bracelets.
No, he doesn't. I was more thinking the shape of the face more than anything else.
Yeah, the face kind of I can see, but he doesn't have those like elf/Vulcan ears.
No, he doesn't.
It doesn't have the penumbra in the middle of his face either.
Yeah,
that's it.
Or Annihilus's head on his shoulder, which is another thing. So
yeah. The design definitely does remind me of something, Ian. I can't put my finger on it, but
a little bit Maestro, just because of all the different artifacts. But I know that's not where they're going with it necessarily. But Reborn Ultimate Impact issue 2 of 5, Chris Condon, Stefano Caselli on page 23, and then the comic book we've all been waiting for. Snooch to the Booch We get Jay and Silent Bob. Okay. Epic pun. The best pun. Jay's a future past.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much. Just thank you from the bottom of my heart for this one. No notes.
And this is why the other book that Kevin's doing is bi-monthly.
yes, because he was working on this. Oh man, Kevin Smith and Giuseppe Camuncoli. Doom decrees the dim-witted duo must die. Capt Tan, American J, and friendly neighborhood wider man, Silent Bob, make a quick stop in the Marvel Universe. This copy is too good. But when Doctor Doom decrees these Jersey guys must die, the Fantastic Four, Avengers, and X-Men, and a whole hoary host of heroes must team up on a joint mission to save the dim-witted duo from a lethal case of superhero fatigue. Yes. Thank you.
I'm in.
I am hard to say no to all that.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Very
100% the case. Yep. All right. I'm game. So page 24 for that one there. Days of Future Past. And this cover here is also just as good. Oh, man. And then on page 26, Amazing Spider-Man, Symbii.
I have no idea what a Symbii is. The Pro is a great creative team of Joe Kelly as writer and David Baldeón as artist. Love them both. In the cons column is $5.99 for 32 pages of antics with this Clintar character that I've never seen before.
Yeah, Marvel Unlimited for me on that one. All right.
Yeah, easy.
Yep.
See, this is part of the reason why I have only 5 Marvel comics on my buy list for this month, because they just too much of this $4.99 for 32 pages stuff, and they're starting to slip in $5.99s arbitrarily here and there.
Yep.
Ultimately.
Well, how about here on page 28? We get X-Men 97 Season 2, number 1 of 5. Steve Fox and Salva Espin. This is a mutant milestone. Variant cover there by Johnny Caballero brings that up. Extinction Day has come and gone, and your favorite X-Men are lost in time. Spitting out of the X-Men 97 hit TV series, we follow the X-Men left behind in a world that hunts and hates mutant kind. Can they survive? And just where or when are the X-Men now? Leading directly from the end of Season 1 to the start of the upcoming Season 2. No X-Men 97 fan can miss this one. Part of me almost wishes they'd called this X-Men 97 Season 1.5, because clearly it is not Season 2 as it's leading up to it. Right. But either way, happy to see this comic come out. I'm going to check it out, because loved me some X-Men 97. And most importantly, in Season 2, we're getting the adventures of Cyclops and Phoenix. Come on.
Oh, yes.
Oh, so they're going to the future to raise young Nathan? Sweet.
Yep, that's part of it. There's a whole bunch of stuff happened at the end of Season 1 that leads up to some of our favorite X-Men arcs definitely being dealt with here. And I wouldn't be shocked if Season 3 leads to the Age of Apocalypse, like outright. Whether or not they decide to go that way, who knows? But we're definitely getting some good old shenanigans with timey-wiminess in Season 2. And a great cover there by the one and only Todd Knock. Gotta love it. Ooh, nice interiors as well.
Pyro.
And then we get X-Men Outback, number 1 of 5. This is where the X-Men go get themselves a bloomin' onion. Steve Orlando with Steven Segovia. Crikey, mate. You call that a knife? That's not a knife. We go back to the Australian era. I apologize to any of my Australian listeners, by the way, for that one. Yeah, you can blame the
And they're gone.
Yep. They're gone. Oh, well. But this goes back to the Australian Outback era of the X-Men. We get Storm, Wolverine, Rogue, Colossus, Dazzler, Havoc, Psylocke, and Longshot. I wonder if we'll also get Madeline Pryor, as she was definitely a part of the Outback era in one way or another. So we'll see if they're actually going to include her in that. But Steve Orlando gets to dip his toes into some old school X-Men. So good stuff. I appreciate that alternate cover there on page 33. So 32 for the main solicitation, 33 for this one. Really, really dig it. And then Saladin Ahmed gets to dip his toes into a 5-issue miniseries featuring Bishop, with Mario Santoro on the artwork chores for this. And the time-lost X-Man is back. He's always lived by a strict code, but that code will get called into question when his sister Shard is sent to the present right before she died. Will Bishop adhere to his principles and protect the time stream, or will he risk it all to save the most important person in his life? Ooh. Did I mention timey-wimey? Because we're definitely getting that with this one. Ooh. Nice old-school, long-haired Bishop. Love it. And then in Uncanny X-Men number 29, are we also having some back-in-time shenanigans? Or is that just somebody who looks just like New Mutants Cannonball? Let's see. Gail Simone, Luciano Vecchio. Haven House has a powerful and unexpected set of house guests. The Uncanny X-Men are not feeling very hospitable. Meanwhile, the Outliers are stranded in a landscape they can't understand under the watchful mentorship of one of the X-Men's most powerful foes. All this, plus a death at Grey Malkin prison, causes violent chaos for guards and inmates alike. I'm just going to start reading it the way that they write it. Like, if they're going to capitalize random, unexpected words, I'm just going to have to emphasize them. That's just the way it goes.
Ultimately.
It's not even the Ultimate Universe. Save it. And then Uncanny X-Men number 30. Mars needs mutants. This is on page 37. The last was on page 36. Widespread panic breaks out in Louisiana as it becomes ground zero for an alien invasion force. But are they really what they seem? And are they a known species or some new terror altogether? Can even the Uncanny X-Men resist the technological terrors when Mars needs mutants? Yes, they can. But Mars also needs moms.
They did at one point.
Yep. All right, let's skip on down a bit further. Issue 5 of 5 of Storm's Earth's Mightiest Mutant. And we'll see whether Storm gets her ongoing series back after this, or whether we just get a series of miniseries. But Moreo Iodele continues the story being told there in its 5th and final issue. That is on page 42. And issue 5 of Wade Wilson Deadpool, staring death in the face. Hammerhead has Deadpool's Book of Omens, but with Blind Owl in the crosshairs, will Wade sacrifice his life for hers? Plus, the secret from issue 1 is revealed in this issue 5 on page 43. Cyclops' 5th and final issue and Magic and Colossus' 5th and final issue. Those are both there on page 44, so those will be trades soon enough. And the 2nd issue of Civil War Unmasked by Christos Gage and Edgar Salazar, back in a day when Peter Parker was dealing with everyone knowing who he was, until he made that rascally deal with the devil. So, Civil War Unmasked, issue 2 of 5 by Gage and Salazar goes into that there on page 45. Ooh. So, Wolverine's claws have seen better days in Wolverine issue 22. Oh, snapped. He's been beaten down to the bone, literally. His adamantium claws shattered. Their bones snapped down to nubs. This is Wolverine is most brutalized, most beat up. But when an animal is backed into a corner, they can be at their most dangerous. We better not get feral Wolverine again, okay? I can't stand having Wolverine with like a freaking bandana over his face. It's just
and no nose under it.
Yes, exactly. You see, he was devolving, so it made no sense. It made zero sense. Page 47. You know he's actually a real life Wolverine. Okay, no, that doesn't happen either. That's out of the cards too. Like, ugh, God. Now, it's What If month, and I'm okay with that. What if the Ultimate Universe survived the Secret Wars? What if the radioactive spider bit Jessica Jones? What if Kraven survived his last hunt?
By J.M. DeMatteis, no less.
By J.M. DeMatteis, yes. and Yidre Sinar on that as well. What if Captain America was unfrozen in 2099? What if the Runaways hadn't run away by Rainbow Rowell? And what if Cassandra Nova killed Charles Xavier? These were all stuff that we mentioned last month, but they're being reminded. We're being reminded that these are going to be coming in July and August. So I very much look forward to reading those and checking them out. For that matter, What If Thor #1 by Torun Grombeck, a man who shockingly enjoys his Vikings.
That's actually a woman, Ian.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But yeah, she's a woman.
Well, there you go. A woman who most definitely enjoys her Vikings. There we go.
She is Norwegian, I'm pretty sure.
Very good.
Yes.
And Sergio Davila along with that. Thor gets Spider-Man's symbiote suit. Yeah, that's not good. Methinks that's going to go very badly for Thor. I just saw the What If that came out not too long ago where the Thing wound up with the symbiote suit, and that turned out horribly for him. So I think this is going to turn out very bad for everybody in general. Lots of bad timing here. Oh, well. But at least Jerry Duggan gets to tell us what if Cyclops had stayed with Madeline Pryor, like he should have, on page 51 here of the catalog. Maybe if he hadn't run off while she was in Alaska to go hang out with his ex and completely forget about his family for a while. Good job, Marvel. Maybe she wouldn't have got all Robot Queen. Hey.
You can't have them both there. You can only have one Jean.
Yes, but they also could have had her not be a clone of Jean. Whatever. But
yeah, that's the other thing. They really kind of just like wrote themselves into a corner with that one.
Of course they did. I liked it better when she was just someone who happened to look uncannily like Jean Grey, and that just proves that Scott has a type. You know, that's it. But Jerry Duggan and Jan Basaluda tell us this particular story here on page 51, and then Spidey versus Spore in Amazing Spider-Man issue 30, otherwise known as issue 994 of Amazing Spider-Man. The book that's been coming out way less than Action Comics, but almost has as many issues.
Yep.
And then page 53, Amazing Spider-Man number 31, The Talk. Peter Parker's world will never be the same. Are they actually killing Aunt May again? That's the question here. Or is she just moving to Florida? That's also possible.
That's very possible. Then we get the sensational sweating Spider-Man.
Yes, indeed. Patrick Gleason on the artwork chores for that one as well. And then a facsimile edition for something I swear just came out, because this is how old we are now. Amazing Spider-Man issue 546 gets a facsimile edition. Like, come on, guys.
Jesus.
Come on. Like, come on. Brand New Day doesn't need facsimiles. Like, you can still find them pretty easily.
I started working at Midtown when that came out.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
That was 18 years ago?
450 issues of using.
Oh, boy.
With
Yeah,
some
450 issues.
creative
18
numbering
years.
and thrice monthly releases along the way.
Mm-hmm.
But at least we get to get advertisements for movies that came out 14 years ago in the ads. So that's something.
Iron Man.
Yep.
Potentially.
Yeah, more than likely. Well, issue 546 here in facsimile form. That's on page 54. And then issue 2 of Dan Slott's Spectacular Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Which didn't make it.
55. Yep. Issue 2 of 5. But it could still possibly wind up continuing past that. I don't know. Who knows? But hey. And is this a Mr. Negative Punisher?
Looks like it.
Hey. Oh boy.
Yeah. It does mention Mr. Negative in the solicit, so yeah.
Yep. All right. He must be Mr. Negative Infected or something like that. All right. That's on page 55. As we get further along, Just Spectacular Collection. The J. Scott Campbell cover edition, essentially. If you want a whole bunch of J. Scott Campbell pinups, well, Marvel's got you covered. And boy, oh boy, are there a lot to be had, including a J. Scott Campbell variant of Black Cat on that next page, page 57, while we're at it. when Black Cat takes on the Punisher, or sleeps with him. I don't know. We can't tell by this, or maybe both. Who knows?
Now, burying the lead here, the main cover of Black Cat number 11 is by Adam Hughes. A few people might be interested in that, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, indeed. Cheesecake, and more cheesecake. Why not? Amazing Spider-Man Spider-Versity, issue 3 of 5. They're taking on Carnage. That's not a good idea for young kids, but what are you going to do? Page 59 for that. And a new look for Venom on page 59. Sorry, that was 58 on the last one. Finally, it looks like Mary Jane is just going to be Mary Janing out her Venom look, which is probably a smart thing because we don't have to worry who's behind the suit anymore. Like, Marvel gave that away forever ago at this point. So, Yep. Face it, Tiger, you just hit the Venom. Page 59. Ooh. And Joshua Williamson and Juan Cabal bring us a team up of Spider-Man and Iron Man on page 60 there. Spider-Man must save Norman Osborn from Iron Man? What? I'm sure there's reasons. And in Fantastic Four issue 12 here, aliens have invaded Earth and been rebuffed by the Fantastic Four many a time before. And finally, one of them got wise and invaded Earth where Fantastic Four couldn't defend it. They're attacking our world in the past in ancient Rome. So once again, the Fantastic Four are going to have to go to ancient Rome because that's their favorite place to go. Ryan North on that one on page 62. The 4th of 5 of the Alias miniseries by Sam Humphries. So we're close to the conclusion of that on page 65.
Oh, final issue of Iron Fist, which kind of makes me sad, but, that was before I found out about the whole, you need to order 700 million copies of issues 1, 2, and 3 before it gets canceled.
Yes. Tell your friends, tell your friends' friends, tell their grandmother to all buy it to ensure that something goes past 5 issues at Marvel Comics. Ah, well. The actual page 65 here, that last one was page 64. We get further Warzone here as Jigsaw and Punisher duke it out. 5th issue of Benjamin Piercy's Punisher there. And the Enchantress is enchanting Doctor Strange in issue 7 of his book.
And what's that above it, Ian?
Oh, is that Imperial Guard?
That's right. Look at that, and look at that beautiful, wonderful, terrific Darkhawk on the right-hand side of that cover. What a wonderful book that everyone should pick up.
I mean, maybe they still can, and there'll be a second miniseries.
Please, I am begging.
Maybe you'll just get a Darkhawk series. Who knows?
I will take it.
Yeah.
I get a Darkhawk series once every 12 years, and that's it. It's painful.
Oh boy. A Tale of Two Sorcerers in Steve Orlando's Sorcerer Supreme issue 7. As Wanda defends the Sanctum in London against the Extinction King and his first extinction weapon. But from deep within the devouring energy field, a new magical force is revealed. Turin, the Quantum Master, the Sorcerer Supreme of the Quantum Realm. But what are Turin's ties to the Extinction King, and can he even be trusted? No, he cannot. Page 67.
So they're saying Turin has a shroud of mystery about him.
Yes, he does. A Turin shroud, if you will. Mortal Thor number 11. That looks like a little bit less of a Mortal Thor there, but he's missing his hammer and his cool studs. So we're not sure what's going on here.
Yeah, it's a variant cover anyway.
Ah, man, darn it.
Yeah, the main cover's on the one we just saw.
And the main cover is just Sigurd Jarlson with a normal hammer.
Oh, man. Well, it's Alex Ross, so who cares?
Absolutely.
Is that?
Yep. Horns of the Minotaur. Sigurd Jarlson. It's just fun to say.
I'm going to be striking this Minotaur.
Yes, I am. Page 68 for that. And then on page 70, we get a Silver Surfer facsimile edition. Yep.
One of my favorite covers of all time.
Oh, that's great. So good. Yep. Thor and Silver Surfer duking it out there.
And they'll begin to foil.
Yes. What a shock. John Buscema and Gene Cohen on the pencils for this lovely facsimile edition.
I see foil variant. I'm a '90s kid. I see foil variant. I buy foil variant. I can't help that. It literally is a thing I cannot resist.
You've been conditioned, and I understand. And this is your curse. So,
Yeah, it's my
meanwhile-
gift. It's my curse. Who am I?
Meanwhile-
I'm Spider-Man.
who's that shark? Who's that shark? It's Jeff. Brand new week, number 1. Kelly Thompson, Gurahiro, and others. Meet Jeff's cute new companion, Ken the Septipus. Thank you. Page 71 for that. By the way, the crossover that they released in correlation with the Superman Spider-Man crossover exclusive to Marvel Unlimited is a Aquaman Jeff crossover book.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out.
It is excellent. It is well deserved. Well deserved. And the 4th and final issue of Paul Jenkins' Century miniseries, to be followed on page 72 there, along with the final issue of Marvel Knights: The World to Come by Quesada and Priest.
Freaking last.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, it's been a long wait.
It's about damn time. This is why Joe Quesada doesn't work as editor-in-chief anymore. He can do whatever he wants on his deadlines. Ah, well. Well,
Quesada-lutely.
I'm sure this will look great in an oversized edition someday, but I'm just glad it's out and that it's only $4.99 for 32 pages. So that's not bad for them. All right. Wonder Man number 4 of 5. We get Hellcat involved with this one. Always love to see Hellcat in anything. And Wonder Man 4 of 5 is a place to find that. Jerry Duggan and Laura Braga on that one.
Oh, and it looks like the Spot is in this story as well.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Nice. That on page 7.
Ah, yes. The last issue of Godzilla Infinity War. One of my most anticipated miniseries this year, aside from another miniseries, which we'll talk about later. I can't wait to see Godzilla kick the cosmic crap out of everyone.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And Null and Doctor Doom involved here. Jerry Duggan, Javier Garron, page 75. 5th and final issue of the Predator Bloodshed miniseries on page 76 as well. And as we get further into it, let's head over to the trades. And in the trades, the Silver Surfer Infinity Gauntlet Omnibus hardcover by the one and only Jim Starlin, the one and only Ron Mars, and Ron Lim, Todd Smith, Tom Rainey, George Perez, and more on the artwork chores. This is a heck of an omnibus here.
Oh, yes. It's bringing you not only the 6 issues of the main Infinity Gauntlet miniseries, but it very heavily contextualizes it by giving it, reprinting all the build-up that appeared in, most notably Ron Mars' Silver Surfer series, but also things like the Thanos Quest 2-issue mini in which Thanos gathered the Infinity Gems. Mm-hmm. And also some stories from Marvel Comics Presents.
Yep. Issues 50, 69, 93 through 97 of Marvel Comics Presents are all part of this omnibus here. Hardcover edition, before discount, $150 for 1,384 pages. A lap buster right there on page 83. But a lot of good stuff.
Amen to that.
Mm-hmm. And then speaking of the Australia era, we get ourselves the Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 6 of Claremont, Stern, Milgram, Priest, Shooter, DeFalco, and Duffy, along with Mark Silvestri, John Bogdanov, Alan Davis, Rick Leonardi, Butch Geis, Buscema, Bright, Romita Jr., Blevins, Barry Windsor-Smith, and plenty of others involved with that there. Talk about another lap buster. This is 1,208 pages for $125. You even have entries from the official handbook of the Marvel Universe included in this particular omnibus, along with Mephisto Versus issues 3 and 4 in there for good measure, and some Marvel fanfare and Best of Marvel as well. Wow. That's all there on page What was the page number again? 84. All right. Down we go. We get ourselves a brand new day edition 5x5 by 8 by 5.5 by 8.5. This gets us some of the Chris Bachalo, Guggenheim, Kelly, Kitson, Martin, McCone, brand new day stuff for you there on page 87 in a pocket-sized edition. And JMS's 1776 miniseries gets collected in full on page 92. So if you're waiting for that, all 5 issues are now available in trade paperback, penciled by the one and only Ron Lim and Sean Damian Hill for good measure there. The Jeff Loeb and Simone DeMeo continuation of X-Men Age of Apocalypse is there on page 95, X-Men of Apocalypse, as the Age of Apocalypse is quote-unquote reborn there on page 95. And then, of course, on page 98, the ROM Epic Collection Original Marvel Years Volume 5, collecting issues 61 through 75 of Classic ROM and Annual number 4 from 1982, written by Bill Mantlo and penciled by the one and only Steve Ditko for this run. So you get Ditko ROM for issues 61 through 75.
Yep. A collection or series of collections we thought might never happen has happened. Now it's coming to an end, and it's collecting some of the relatively hard-to-find later issues of the series.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely the case.
Wrong universe.
Damn. You know, sometimes it's just a word. All right. and that'll close us out here on Marvel. So let's head over to IDW. All right. And there we are with IDW.
Oh, I got it. Oh, IDW is kind of crazy this month.
Yeah, I can tell by the cover that we're going to have a lot to talk about. And I also like that they've now just started including on the cover to this that it's not just going to be IDW, that we're going to have, in W Dark, Top Shelf, id Crime, Valiant, and Alien Books all included in here. So good stuff. And of course, printed in Canada. They had to put that on there too. All right. So let's start us off with Killer Influences by David Baldion, with a story by Joey Esposito to go along with it. The second series in IDW's new crime line is here, as this follows Melvin, a serial killer who's aspiring to be one of the most infamous to ever do it, a true American nightmare. His problem? He's so efficient and methodical that he doesn't have a brand. No one has connected his crimes, except for Kylie, an aspiring true crime influencer who is flailing at a small-town newspaper. When she comes across Melvin's crimes and reaches out to him, she figures out how she's going to become a star. She will give Melvin the identity he needs to be the iconic serial killer he wants to be, while she follows his exploits on her channel and becomes famous. Kylie and Melvin make a pact that will make their dreams come true and destroy their lives in the process. Very cool premise here. Basically a serial killer who is trying to become serial, but the world doesn't want him to. Killer Influences number 1 here on page 2. And then down we go a little bit further into it. And here we are for me to stretch my Twilight Zone muscles. This time, a story written and drawn by the epic Gabriel Hardman. So here we are. Russell Colton, an elderly failed actor known only for his stifled performance in a cult classic monster film, is transported back to 1959. Meeting his younger self on the set of the creature feature, Colton attempts to convince him to quit the movie and save his future career. But the past may prove to be a one-way trip. A trip you can only enter in the Twilight Zone. Excellent. And what a creator to bring this story to light here. I'm sure this is going to be one of the best issues of this series so far. Gabe Hartman's always great, and check that out there on page 8. And look at these turtles. Aren't they great? Story by Gene Lin Yang with art by Pharaoh Pei, although you do get a Freddie Williams II cover.
Oh, no.
Yep.
I was just going to make an appeal to Freddie to be like, hey, Freddie, we're friends. You're a friend of the podcast. We're friends. Can you draw me into a Ninja Turtles book, maybe? But now he's not on the book anymore, so I can't beg him.
This may just be a temporary change. Who knows? Who knows? But
actually, to be honest with you, maybe he has drawn me into a book, and I just don't.
Maybe.
I'm not caught up, so
that's possible.
I could already be in a book somewhere and then just not be begging for nothing.
Well, this is a new arc here as well, as we're post Yujigami saga. So this is what's next after that in the Ninja Turtles book. So issue 19 can be found on page 10. And Casey Jones action in the Saturday Morning Adventures by Eric Burnham there on page 12. Good old boxy version of Casey Jones, straight from the animated series.
Reaganomics.
Are we still practicing that? Are we still doing that? Is that still phrasing? I don't know. John Layman and Jacob Edgar's 4th issue of their Rocketeer series, The Island, there on page 15. Thrilling reintroduction of the Rocketeer. This is the mini-series finale, so this will be collected in full probably within the next month or so. And Star Trek The Last Starship issue 8, Kellyanne Lanzig and Hernan Gonzalez behind that there on page 18, as we get the Borg Queen involved with this particular issue. Star Trek The Next Generation Mirror War IDW Classic Collection. This is indeed a classic by David Tipton, Scott Tipton, and others. Artwork by Gavin Smith and more. A whole bunch of the original concepts for these mirror universes were done by J.K. Woodward, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
And then the artwork by others. But yeah, this is on page 20 here. And if you were always wondering what the Star Trek Next Generation characters would look in the mirror universe, this gives you that in spades here on page 20.
Mm-hmm.
This is the second mirror universe crossover, like Next Generation comic. The first one was the one that Scott worked on. Scott, JK worked on.
Yeah, this is a 6x9-inch pocket-sized edition too.
Excellent.
Ooh, maybe I'll pick this up because I didn't finish the series.
Yeah, you might as well. Yeah, and more companies being smart and being like, oh hey, that manga sells.
Yeah, Star Trek Lootly.
That doesn't work.
No, it doesn't, but I can slip it in there.
All right, fine. 12th issue of the Godzilla Kaisei era on page 21. And the End of the Reign trade paperback on page 22 collects the first 6 issues of the Godzilla Kaisei End of the Reign by Tim Seeley and Nicola Chimeskiga.
It's really I finished those 6 issues. It's a pretty interesting story premise, but I won't talk about it here. I will eventually get a video of it out sometime in the next decade.
Well, if and when he does, youtube.com/@comictimingpodcast is where you will find that video. Right. Down we go into Starship Godzilla First Wars. This is collected in full here. So if you were hearing us talk about it and you're interested in it, Chris Gooch and Olivier Ono have that for you there on page 26. Gooch. And then...
on page 28.
Yep.
Yes, this is my most anticipated book this month. Godzilla's Monsterpiece Theater presents Godzilla's The Odyssey. Story by Frank Thierry, art by Ilias Curiasis, and cover by Tom Scioli. Ilias, actually, I know because he did this really long, elaborate art piece for Midtown Comics back in the day.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
It's like a bunch of like it's like a bunch of like young superheroes. It's like Kid Avengers, Kid Justice League, just this entire scroll above the statue cases.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Well, it's Godzilla and the Odyssey, and what more do you need? Am I right?
You need nothing more. It is the feeble, weak, pathetic Greek pantheon and all of its heroes taking on the king of the monsters. Oh, Achilles, you're indestructible. No. I don't care about your your little ankle or your heel or whatever it is. You're not invulnerable to nuclear death fire from the king of the monsters.
And you'll find that here on page 28.
But that's just how I feel.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Also, part 2 of Robin Hood meets Godzilla.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Backup feature there.
Oh yeah, written by Frank Thierry, by the way.
Yep. He steals from the rich and tries not to get squashed.
Yes, that is accurate. Wow, there already been 88 issues of the Sonic the Hedgehog series. How about that? Page 31. I remember when they were with Archie, and they've now been with IDW for 88 issues. Speaking of which, Sonic the Hedgehog On the Go, Volume 3, available for you there on page 33 if you're looking for some Sonic comics. Collects issues 21 through 32 and the 2020 annual from Volume 6 through 8, all in one package. We go to Top Shelf here, and Mini Pouches in the Micro Realm. Just looks like it's a Cartoon Network animated series from like 2016 right here, with a story by Caleb Gollner and art by Eric Lyde, as join Mini Pouches, a super anxious, super strong girl, as she travels through the micro realms to save her best friend, her 5 pets. How about that? So pets in trouble, and Mini Pouches is here to save the day on page 34. Really love the look of the artwork on the next couple of pages.
It is really cool.
Yep. Further down into Alien Books, and a Tarzan book by Steve Orlando and Renato Geddes.
Oh. So, and it's set in a future with Tarzan McGinnis.
Yes, that's true. The years have been kind to the Lord of the Jungle and his faithful companion Jane. They've grown older, wiser, and carved out a peaceful existence after decades of adventuring. But not all good things are meant to last, as their world becomes threatened when the nefarious Blackbeard the pirate, and his crew lay siege to Tarzan's homeland in search of the secrets of immortality. Can Tarzan return to his adventuring ways and save Jane and the rest of the world from Blackbeard's crew?
I almost wish it was Blackbeard the pilot.
Right?
Okay, that would be awesome. Yeah, I'd be absolutely be down. Yes. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna steal your gold. Right after you see the Grand Canyon to your left. Steve Orlando, Tarzan, page 40.
Can we back it up for a second, Ian? There's a thing on the previous page that I'd wanted to mention.
Yes, of course.
Yep, there we go. That thing. It's on page 38. This is back in Top Shelf. It's called Gigs by Mark Mosdale and Cy Smith. Here's your tagline. AI took the work. Gigs replaced jobs. Ordinary people are left to scrape together lives in a world that's no longer built for them. These are their stories. You know, Ian, when you mentioned earlier that Marvel Studios is laying off like 3/4 of its staffers, including those in the business department, my thoughts immediately went to this solicit and how painfully timely it's proving to be. It's a half dozen different stories by the same creative team of people, struggling to survive in an economy that's been kind of ripped asunder and turned inside out by the introduction of AI, and how it seems to be rendering just normal human workers with steady jobs obsolete. It's a powerful warning about the oppressive world to come, and a defiant celebration of the humanity that will sprout up in the cracks.
Well, if there's one thing that I know is that we are all real on this call and not made of AI. Or are we?
Yes, we are. What do you mean? There's nothing wrong. Keep going.
All I know is everything's fine. the world is great, and we're all not going to be slowly taken over by humans with 7 fingers when they shouldn't have 7 fingers. That's that.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not at all.
Yep.
That also seems unlikely to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, sounds like a fascinating story there, and not at all frightening in any way, shape, or form. Anyway,
Well, it's trying to be inspirational at the same time it's being frightening.
oh, I know.
But it must first frighten in order to inspire, you see.
It just makes me feel things. All right.
It does hit a little close to home, but that's why I thought it deserved a little bit of a spotlight there.
Absolutely. We get a new Valiant book here, new Bloodshot book, Valiant Beyond Bloodshot #4, Man-Made Hell #1, even though it's also Man-Made Hell. I'm so confused by that numbering. Please help me. Story by Mauro Mantello, art by Christian Rossi. It's both #1 and not #1. Man-Made Hell part 1 of 3.
What they tried to do, I saw this on the Harbinger series, because I buy Harbinger, is they reset the upper left hand corner numbering is the same. That's the counter. So like if it's issue 4 of the entire series, it's issue 1 of the next part. But that's indicated on the bottom left as opposed to in the box.
Okay, sure. It's not at all complicated. You know what? You know what would have solved this? A corner box. That's what would have solved it. I think they should have just went ahead and went with that.
It's like a wise Canadian philosopher once said, "Why'd you go and make things so complicated?"
Yes, that's very very true and poignant. And guess what? We're done with IDW, so on we go to Dark Horse.
There we go.
All right.
It's available in print this month.
Ooh. Oh my. Dark Horse, getting that Penguin Random House money and spending money on print.
Yep, we fancy now.
All right. Well, let's see what they got with that fancy. 40 Years of Dark Horse. Congratulations on 40 Years of Dark Horse, created by the one and only Mike Richardson. Yeah, about that. Hey.
It does feel like they need to be sat down and talked to about that.
Might be a good idea, yeah. But I'm sure that this copy was probably even put down long before the decision was made, because we know as well as anybody else that this, these solicits have a long way ahead before we actually see them. So at least they're congratulating him here. And he'll continue to live his life as a very successful real estate mogul in Portland. So good for you, Mike Richardson. All right. And then we continue forward, and we get to issue 1 of a new Hellboy series, Seed of Destruction. Oh, never mind. This is a reprint.
Right. This is like the very first Hellboy miniseries.
Yep. By Mignola and Byrne. I did not remember that Byrne was involved with this particular story. So that's and Mike Chiarello on the note there as well, and obviously art by Mignola himself. So,
if I'm remembering correctly, they spun Hellboy out of, or kind of backdoor piloted him in John Byrne's Next Men series.
I see. Got it. Okay, cool. So that would make sense. All right, excellent. Plus Monkey Man and O'Brien by Art Adams involved with this particular issue.
Also good stuff.
Yep, that's there on the first page. For an actual new comic, Giant Robot Hellboy returns. As scientists comb the deep sea for any sign of Giant Robot Hellboy after his disappearance, but find more than they bargained for when an interdimensional portal threatens to pull them in or let monsters of unknown origin out. New 2-parter that continues the story from Giant Robot Hellboy and connects more deeply to Hellboy Addon BPRD lore. I think they meant and.
I think so too. But yeah, that jumped out to me too. Either that or they suddenly had a small aneurysm and started typing in Arabic.
Yeah. Proofread your stuff, guys. Come on. On page 2. Yep. Clearly, they're all about saving that money. A one-shot here by three slouches that nobody's ever heard of. Jonathan Hickman and Nick Spencer, artwork by Mike Del Mundo.
Yeah.
This is presented in a prestige magazine-sized format, showcasing stunning artwork by some of the leading creators in comics. Next great comics universe starts here. We're getting a epic sci-fi saga on an intergalactic scale to start with here. Across a distant solar system and countless millennia-long cycles, a war has been fought between the forces of magic and science and order and chaos. When astronaut and explorer Tejo Valor undertakes a doomed expedition to a dormant moon full of mysteries, the conflict begins anew and more dangerous than ever before. I am very interested in this. This looks like it's going to be good stuff. And weren't we just talking about how Dark Horse needed to make themselves like some sort of universe? And lo and behold, here it is. So, all right, okay, why not? They were listening.
You're welcome, Dark Horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome from 2 months probably after you made up your minds to do this.
Hey, somehow we still made a difference.
That's true. I take all the credit for this.
Absolutely. Page 3. They're gonna call it the Raphiverse.
Yes, exactly. And they're gonna let me write something in it.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah. We don't have to. Okay, we can. Yeah, that's fun's over.
We can talk about this though. Shaolin Cowboy, staying AI alive.
Yeah, this is something I was eyeing too.
Yeah, Jeff Darrow on the writing and the artwork here. 6'7", 6'7". No, the Shaolin.
Okay, never mind.
The Shaolin Cowboy faces an icy reception when he leaves his wasteland retreat on a mission of mercy, following the considered counsel of a desert swallow and a horned toad, both endangered species. But none is endangered as the wandering ex-monk becomes, once again, because in this typical American small town, he learns euthanasia is the new import duty on foreign imports. Filibustering words and pictures by Jeff Darrow. Tariff-free colors by Ian Harry. Shut down letters by Nate Piekos. I think they might be making some sort of reference here. I don't get it. And then, of course, I'm not saying it again. So available on page 6 and 7.
Oh, you wait till you get to Antarctic Press.
Oh no,
because I was happening to look at that right after we started, and I'm gonna point it out.
Well, Mark Miller and Corrado Mastantuono on the writing and artwork chores. That is a darn fine cover, if I do say so myself, for a Starcross #1 here. 2 greatest thieves in the universe have a price on their head, and every single bounty hunter alive is out to collect it. That's the general premise behind Starcross. This is going to be a 5-issue mini here by Miller, and that's available there on page 8 of the catalog. This looks interesting as well. The Beast of Bordiken. Julio Anta, Danielle Irizarry on the artwork chores. This is a thrilling new True Weird series from Tiny Onion by co-creators Julio Anta and Daniel Inzari, bringing El Chupacabra to life. In contemporary Puerto Rico, Lole Flores is a fierce activist fighting the overdevelopment of the island by outside investors, like Logan Paul. When a groundbreaking ceremony is violently interrupted by a supernatural force, Lily discovers that the stories of El Chupacabra are not just echoes from the past, but a brutal protector of generations, extending back to the indigenous people of the island. Fascinating premise here. Has Gollum principles to it. Golem, that is, not Gollum, my precious. But the Beast of Bordiken here, 5-issue mini, first issue on page 10. And then Written by Nathan Fillion and Heath Corson, also co-writing. We get Witness Point #1. And mind you, Heath Corson is known for such things as Minor Threats and Animal Kingdom. This is a new modern noir series full of mystery, murder, and the chaos of a small town caught up in a massive government screw-up. I'm interested. I'm happy to see Nathan Fillion dipping his toes into the comic book world, and got a very competent co-writer along the way there on page 11. So interested in Fillion or just good comics, you'll probably find that here on page 11 with Witness Point. 4-issue miniseries. And David Dasmalkian and Leah Kilpatrick bring us Kingdom of Earth. Wow. They're really dipping their toes into the actor world here a little bit. But 2036, 2 years ago, hordes of monsters rose from the earth and sea, devouring everything in sight. Much of mankind was massacred before the monsters realized they needed humans. In this new world, humans have two options: service or slaughter. When a young child named Frankie narrowly escapes their fate as livestock, they soon realize that their fight for survival has only just begun. And that's what we get here with Kingdom of Earth. Another 4-issue mini launching out of Dark Horse this month on page 12. New Grendel. This is Grendel Devil's Crucible Sedition #1. Another 4-issue mini here. Wagner returning to the world of Grendel for a new series on page 13. Any of you Grendel fans, you've got more for you. And then Alexandra Grant and Matt Kint bring us Nano. Badass operative of the underground organization The Order, she and her longtime comrade Lucas have been assigned to Nano, a mega city run on prison labor and rolling from blackouts, while Lucas is tasked with infiltrating NanoCore's secretive research facility. Sana's mission is something she's never trained for, playing the doting wife of Lucas Cover. In her guise as middle school PE teacher, she's forced to cool her jets and teach 8th graders stretching while Lucas puts himself in danger. Well, that's some undercover for you. Nano #1 on page 14. That's a 3-issue mini. All right. The 11th of 12 of Powers 25, Bendis and Oming. Now we are one away from the conclusion of Powers 25 now on page 21. And it has been coming out monthly. There really haven't been any stop-sitting action there. Second issue of The Ring, The Man Who Beat the Man that we mentioned last month by Gail Simone and Elisa Ramboli. Available for you there on page 22. That's going to be an 8-issue series. And EC Archives. Ooh. Yep.
It's on page 27. It's some squeaky clean offerings from EC, actually. Valor, the EC Archives. Timeless comics tales of daring combat and deeds of honor set in many different periods of world history. So it's basically EC's version of DC's The Brave and the Bold.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's got stories in here written by the great Otto Binder, Carl Wessler, and some art by the equally great Wally Wood, Bernie Krigstein, Al Williamson, and others. Collects all 5 issues of that series, which is kind of an outlier statistically in terms of the kind of content that EC went in for.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And I was just going to say, yep.
Forward by P. Craig Russell.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. That's there on page 27 of the catalog. Kint and Latham's Night City gets a full collection on page 29, all 4 issues of that. And Lobster Johnson gets his 2nd volume of his omnibus, Mignola, along with John Arcudi, with some Tonchi Jonjik artwork there on page 30. The Goon gets its 6th omnibus, Eric Powell's long-running Goon series. This contains a ragged return to Lonely Street, the deceit of a Cro-Magnon dandy, fishy men, witchy woman, and bitter beer, and others. So those are the stories you can anticipate in Volume 8 of The Goon. That's there on page 32. And volume 3 of Patton Oswalt's Minor Threats, The Last Devil Alive. Co-written by Jordan Bloom there. Scott Hepburn on the art chores on page 33. Ooh.
Oh.
Yep. We got volume 2 of The Art of Star Wars, A New Hope, the manga. So this is the second of 2 hardcover volumes collecting the precisely recreated original art from the 1997 manga adaptation of A New Hope, with a new translation taken directly from the lettering on the boards. This is awesome. I'm so glad they're doing this. First volume looked great. This is right along the same lines. So this will be available for you on August 18th on page 34. The ninth and final volume of Resident Alien, the recently ended sci-fi series on TV. And now this is available on page 36. They say USA Network, but I know it is a sci-fi series. I think it co-ran on both. But Resident Alien Volume 9, The Book of Changes, concludes that with the final miniseries of Resident Alien. And that wraps it up just about here with Dark Horse.
And there, on the bottom of page 41, a little bit of swag here. A little vinyl statue, 6 inches tall, of Bilbo Baggins from the Rankin Bass animated 1977 adaptation of The Hobbit.
Oh, yeah.
Which is near and dear to my heart.
Oh, absolutely. Happy to see that.
I would sing the Leonard Nimoy Bilbo Baggins song, but I don't remember the lyrics.
I remember the hook. More than anything else, but Bilbo.
Yes.
Only 2 feet tall or something like that.
Yeah, 3 feet tall.
3 feet tall.
Greatest adventure is what lies ahead. Today and tomorrow have yet to be said. Little Glenn Yarbrough there.
Nice. If we get some singing Murd on an episode, then it's a successful episode. So job well done. All right.
I've made your night. You're welcome.
Oh, most definitely. And this also makes my night. This is our cover artwork for the month. And Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, brand new from Jump, retelling, restart, whatever you want to call it, of the Power Rangers book by the one and only Marguerite Bennett, with illustrations by Andrew Lee Griffith. Same colors, all new energy. The future is now, and the Rangers are ready to be summoned for duty in this visionary relaunch of the Power Rangers series. It's been 10 years. This is smart of them. It's been 10 years since the original Power Rangers turned in their morphers and went their separate ways. But now they've been called back to the legendary command center to face a new terrifying form of a familiar foe, Rita Rabiosa. They may not be teenagers with attitudes anymore, but are they still the same heroes they once were? Yeah, I'm completely down for this.
This does look cool.
This looks awesome. I really like the redesigns of the Power Rangers outfits in this. I'm sure that there'll be an explanation for it within, but yeah, this is absolutely working for me. So really want to check this out when it's available. And that is available on the first page of the Boom catalog. After 10,000 years, I'm free. All right, fine. Let's head down to the Power Rangers art of Dan Mora. Yeah, you just can't get enough Dan Mora in your life, and this
guy doesn't do enough. What is happening?
He really doesn't. He really doesn't. No. If you want all of his Power Rangers art in one package, that's what you're going to get here on page 10. It's a good coffee table book with one of the best artists in the biz. So that's there on page 10. Such a clean yet well-defined art style. Love every minute of it. All right. Let's see if anything else is not ongoing. Something Killing the Children gets its second omnibus that collects 21 through 40. There on page 19. The Alice Forever After issue 5 by Dan Panosian. This is the final issue of the Alice Forever After story. Will Alice return to her family in the real world or remain forever intertwined with Wonderland? We'll find that out in this fifth and final issue. Giorgio Spalletta and Dan Panosian on the artwork.
I hope there's a sequel.
What?
Alice and Robin after.
Oh, wow. Oh, boy. The Center
Word
Holds.
Association.
I know. Larry Hama's a fourth and final issue of the Center Holds. I thought this was originally supposed to be an ongoing, so unfortunately it's reached its fourth and final issue here of Larry Hama's new work for Boom. That's on page 21, so I'm sure there'll be a trade paperback to go along with it. Mary Sue in hardcover, Megan Fitzmartin and Lisa Sturl. This collects all 5 issues of that Mary Sue miniseries there on page 26. And that is it for Boom. So back we go to the main catalog. And immediately we get Declaration Emancipation Illustrated by R. Sikoriak. Revisits the Declaration of Independence on the 250th anniversary of its signing, with some really interesting combos of artwork on the cover to this, depending on which volume, which version you get. One includes Peter Griffin, Angelica from Rugrats, Curious
What
George.
are you talking about? That's not Peter Griffin. That's just a typical Rhode Islander.
Oh, okay. My mistake. Who else there on the cover there, Murd?
I think that's Alley Oop in the tricorn hat in the back row.
Yeah. I think you're right about that. Well, either way, he cemented his reputation as the king of the visual mashup with Masterpiece Comics and the Unquotable Trump. Sets his sights on the documents that shaped the United States during the Revolutionary and Civil Wars. So find that here on page 187.
Yeah. So it's a bunch of really neat-looking but fairly random illustrations of well-known fictional characters drawn in like colonial garb, juxtaposed with 1 or 2 sentences from the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and then the same thing with the Emancipation Proclamation.
Yep. Ooh, I like his Superman animated series inspired.
That's very fun.
Yeah, I dig that. Nice.
Apologies to Bruce Timm and Neil Adams. And here's the invaders, of course, the colonial invaders.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Ooh, good stuff. Mr. Magoo.
And Gerald McBoing Boing.
Oh, boy. Well, yeah, this is going to be fun. And wow.
A lot of fun.
All the Family Guy guys. All right. Wow, they did a good job of almost printing the entire book on these preview pages. But, all right, there you go. Moving down further in the catalog. And we get to Moomin Summer Madness. The Moomin. By Tove Jansson. Fun and endearing. It's easy to see why Moomin Valley has an enduring appeal for readers both young and old. We get ourselves some more Moomin here as summer blooms. This was originally published in 1954 and is the 5th book in the beloved Moomin series, which follows the adventures of the serene and whimsical Moomin family and their friends. So if you're interested in a new edition of that, it is there for you on page 205 out of Drawn and Quarterly. Past Dynamic Forces and their 87 variants. And on we go to Dynamite. And in Dynamite, stuff, things. Altered States, Warlords, #1. David Avalone, the writer behind this. Mariano Benitez Chapo on the artwork chores. Welcome to Altered States. Dynamite's parallel reality in the vein of DC's Elseworlds and Marvel's What Ifs. It's a good name for it. Debut Altered States title starts with Red Sonja, the she-devil of Hyrcania, finding herself transported to Barsoom, better known to Earth readers as Mars, in the ancient past of the mysterious Red Planet. So what happens there sets up events that will ripple across the planet and will draw the legendary heroes Vampirella, John Carter, Deja Torres, and direct from Earth, the Lord of the Jungle himself. Fascinating. Altered States Warlords #1 here on page 224 of the Lunar Catalog. Get some Mars craziness for you.
I like the idea of like an alternate universe crossover thing for Dynamite. They have enough properties to cross over.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, may as well play with it.
Now let's see them do Gaston versus Tarzan or something.
I mean, that could easily happen. They have the right. They have the rights. So let's.
As long as it's Disney's Tarzan, that could very easily happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
No one crosses multiverses like Gaston.
Nobody gets in everybody's way like Gaston.
That's true too.
Supernatural Special Castiel #1. So any of you Supernatural fans who are into their favorite angel, you've got a Castiel Special available on page 230 within the Supernatural universe and within the realm of the Supernatural comics that have been coming out. In the second issue, Benison Tennyson by Joe Casey and Robert Carey there on page 232. These Thundercats and these Silverhawks, they keep happening. Third issue here, Declan Shelby, Drew Moss. That's on page 236. And third issue of the Mumra, the Ever-Living miniseries, available on page 238. You know, I just noticed, Raph, what does that Thunderhawks font remind you of? Lower decks.
Yeah, I could see that. I was also thinking for some reason I was also thinking Transformers because it's also an 80s property.
A little bit.
But no. Lower decks for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the A is definitely a Star Trek font.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Well, they just went ahead and went into their font library, and they're like, "Oh, hey, nobody will notice that we use this." And well, page 239 for that. Love the cover to Aladdin #2 here on page 242. That is awesome. That's the Nicoletta Baldari cover A. Very nice. Speaking of Gaston, he gets the 5th issue of his Disney Villains series, even though they decided to put the cover for issue 4 on this page, on page 245.
No one reuses covers like Gaston.
Ain't that the truth? And Archie X Army of Darkness reaches its 5th issue here on page 251. The crossover everybody wanted. Everybody. Literally everybody was asking for it. They're like, when is Archie going to cross over with Army of Darkness? When? Well, it happened. Next, Archie's going to cross over with Gaston.
No one courts Veronica like Gaston.
All right. Pathfinder's Dark Waters Rising Dynamite Compact Edition trade paperback. A lot of words, but Jim Zub and Andrew Huerta bring that for you. It's a compact edition of Pathfinder Dark Waters Rising on page 264.
What can anybody ask?
Exactly. Epic adventure for just $9.99. Not bad. We get the Classic Years Volume 2 trade paperback of Thundercats with some Thundercats stories by DeFalco, along with Jerry Conway, with art by Ernie Colon, along with Jim Mooney and others, with a great cover there by Ron Frenz. Back in the Marvel days of Thundercats comics. We get ourselves the second collection of those here by Dynamite on page 266. And the Thundercats Powerpuff Girls crossover gets itself a collection as well, because, you know, once again, everybody was like, when is Powerpuff Girls going to cross over with Thundercats? Well, there you go.
Well, thank goodness we can stop wondering.
Exactly. Yep. And that's it for Dynamite. So, of course, on page 274, we must discuss Pimp Killer #1 by Gazal Omar and Caden Phoenix. Got pimp problems? Then L.A. Jones is your woman. She's made a nice little business for herself over the last few hunting down pimps. Following the murder of a young woman in Reno, she turns her attention to Luciano Lucky Strikes, a low-life pimp hiding out in Hollywood. Bucky is notorious for torturing women who try to flee him, and LA is more than willing to dish out her own brand of justice, making this a match made in vengeance. This is a co-publication with partner Keenspot, Pimp Killer #1 out of Expose and Keenspot. Yes, it is Pimp Killer 274. Did I really just want to say Pimp Killer a couple times? Yes.
Sure.
Let's get into the Fantagraphics stuff for the month.
Oh, I think I had a Fantagraphics pick.
Well, how about this? Lovers of the Empire, Volume 1 by Yudori. This is on page 282 of the Winter Catalog. Set in atmospheric Korean capital in the 1920s, this dynamic manhwa period piece follows two teenagers from different social strata thrown together, and their unlikely connection leads to comedic, emotional, and eye-opening experiences of discovery. So another manhwa here, available for you on page 282. Lovers of the Empire, Volume 1 by Yudori.
Oh, this was it.
Yeah.
Love and Desire in the Promised Land, the private lives of Israelis and Palestinians. There's a lot going on in the world in that particularly in that region. We don't have to discuss that because that could be an 18-hour podcast.
Yes.
We don't really cover it normally anyway. But this is a graphic novel that interviews people living in the area, including, let me see here. Let me just read the print. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict viewed through the lens of romantic relationships, a humanizing journalistic portrait of the intimate lives of ordinary people in Israel and Gaza. Love and Desire in the Promised Land collects a dozen interviews with real-life citizens of Israel and Gaza, navigating messy boundaries in their homes and bedrooms against the background of geopolitical violence. Collecting interviews conducted before the October 7th attack unleashed a new wave of bloody conflict. The book introduces fascinating individuals and couples who speak frankly about the transgressions that define their experiences with intimacy. The portrayals represent a diverse population, including an interfaith celebrity power couple, an Orthodox gynecologist, a young gay Muslim, a Palestinian American feminist, a Ukrainian Israeli artist, and a Palestinian lesbian in a relationship with an Israeli soldier. Through these candid conversations recorded by Parent Rachidi and illustrated with the warm touch by DeLupi, the authors humanize the people living in Israel and Gaza as conflict wages around them. These ordinary citizens struggle with their all-too-human urges and desires that drive them to cross borders and boundaries in the name of love and sex. So, yeah, I mean, lost in the idea of all these conflicts is there are people who are probably against these conflicts that live on both sides of, well, one side definitely more than the other, but
yeah.
But they still don't support this, and it's being done in their name. Like sometimes you live in a country that goes to war and you don't like it, and that's happened a couple of times in my lifetime. So
Yep.
it's good to remember the humanity of the people of not only the people who are being invaded or being attacked,
Absolutely.
but also the people who don't support it, because no side is a monolith, obviously. And it's good to humanize everyone.
Why exactly humanizing is a reason why these type of books exist.
Yeah, and that's why I definitely want to bring it up, because it's important.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can check that out here on page 284 by Salome Parent, Rachdi, and DeLupi. And then for something completely different, Nancy for All Seasons. Our second volume in a new series collecting Ernie Bushmiller's timeless and beloved Nancy. Who's lit now, Sluggo? Sluggo is lit. This is old school Nancy. I love me some Nancy. It's timeless. It's fun. Modern Nancy is hilarious. But the early stuff is just as good. So this is jam-packed with over 300 comic strips from the years 1951 to 52. This features a fresh and contemporary new design that will entertain all ages. That's on page 285.
Yeah.
Okay, but the big question is, who is really for all seasons, Nancy or Superman?
Nancy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Superman can concede that one.
What were you going to say then, Murd?
I was going to say that classic Nancy is getting pretty heavily memed on the internet these days. But if you want to see it in its original context, collections like this are the way to go.
Absolutely. Yep. $285 for that. And then reprints back in stock. Space Hulk! The complete collection of Basil Wolverton's legendary costume Crusader. Back in print, featuring newly designed covers. So if you missed it the first time, it's back here for you. Space Hulk! On page 286. You see, he's a hawk, and he's in space. No. That's
not dark enough.
No. On where we go to HarperCollins, and this is hilarious. Meg Cabot, illustrated by Bethany Crandall, The Princess Diaries, the graphic novel. If you like The Princess Diaries, now you get a graphic novel version of it. So why not? I love it. I love everything about it. Mia Thermopolis is pretty sure there's nothing worse than being a 5'9", frizzy-haired freshman who also happens to be flunking algebra. Is she ever in for a surprise? Turns out she's a princess. And this is the Meg Cabot's translation of The Princess Diaries into a graphic novel form here on page 289. So whether you're a fan of the movie or you're just interested in the story, it's got you covered. Wicked, the graphic novel, part 2. So if you are interested in how it ends, and you haven't seen the movie, and you haven't seen Wizard of Oz, and you haven't seen anything else, then this graphic novel's for you.
It will answer your questions for good.
Exactly. For good.
Yep. I gotta say, the adaptation by Scott Hampton, he looks like he adapted the text and drew it. His art is wickedly talented.
Thank you for that. Also, is it just me, or does that look like a green Lucy Lawless?
Kind of. I also can kind of see Margot Kidder in there.
A little bit. One of the reasons my head might be going Lucy Lawless is I think of The Simpsons. I thought Xena can't fly. You're right. Xena can't fly. I'm Lucy Lawless.
Well, I'm thinking of because she's like this. She's kind of like this, and I'm thinking of Christopher Reeve and Margot Kidder.
Yeah.
You just sort of flying together in the first movie.
Yeah, I could see that.
I just see Idina Menzel, but I think that's because that's who I expect to see.
Yeah,
of course. Well, Gregory Maguire on the writing chores, Scott Hampton on the wickedly talented artwork there on page 296. And it is some damn fine artwork, if I do say so myself. Man,
another Odyssey.
This Odyssey doesn't have Godzilla in it. Why would I want to read it?
Yeah. It's the second best Odyssey this month.
Exactly.
Easily.
Yeah. Page 2.
No offense.
Oh my God. Adapted by Russell Punter. He's not a kicker, he's a punter. Illustrated by Fabiano Fiorin. So yeah, if you want a more straightforward version of the Odyssey, this graphic novel has you covered on page 299.
No.
Yeah. Why would you ever?
No. Well, what, you want me to compete with the King of the Mountain? No.
There's also a Lion Witch in the Wardrobe Deluxe Collector's Edition here, written by C.S. Lewis, illustrated by Pauline Baines. So give the gift of Narnia this holiday season with this deluxe limited jacketed hardcover edition of one of the most beloved classic and epic fantasy books of all time. Also, what holiday season are they talking about? Because this is a April previews that is going to be it's going to be in store in June.
Get your Flag Day shopping done now.
This 4th of July.
Yeah.
Celebrate with your family with the book
that you can truly cherish. On page 310 there.
Well, the weather outside might be frightful, but enjoy a book inside.
Exactly. We Knox Ostertag and Xanthi Buma previously solicited with other distributors. What? Dungeons and Dragons Dungeon Club Final Face Off. So if you want yourselves an all ages Dungeons and Dragons comic here, They Have You Covered, 208 pages for $15.99 on page 314.
I do vaguely remember that.
I do, yeah. Just like I vaguely remember Plus Size Misadventures in Love, because I very much remember saying those words. But this is volume 2 of said Plus Size Misadventures of Love by Mamakari here on page 316. Gamerville was also previously solicited by Johnny Christmas. Great name, Johnny Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I hear he's a sweet guy. Sweet Johnny Christmas. Oh boy. All this Jack Thorne artwork that I've fallen into here with the solicitations here by Hermes Press. That is some artwork. Frank Thorne Library. Frank Thorne's Gita of Alazar, revised expanded edition out of Hermes on page 337. You want some good pinup action. And spacefaring women of voluptuous nature. And we made it to Image. All right. And a book for the Shanes.
Jane Kelly, rejoice.
Uh-huh.
Armored Strike Command with a K is back in comics.
Damn Skippy. Yep.
Mask #1 by writer Dan Waters and artists Paipar and Pierluigi Casalino. It's the latest entry in the Energon universe.
Yep. A network of specialists recruited to respond to the next global emergency. At a moment's notice, Tracker and his agents can deploy bleeding-edge technology that converts its vehicles and their drivers into the ultimate weapon. But Miles Mayhem and Venom, Venom, are one step ahead in a secret arms race, scouring the globe for deadly weapons from this planet and beyond, ready to sell out the entire human race. Only Mask can stop them. But will Tracker's own secrets jeopardize their entire mission? Find it out in issue 1 of Mask, available on page 1 of the Image catalog / page 355. There are going to be a lot of covers to go along with this.
And a blind bag.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Eye Collector. On page 4 / 358. He collects eyes. The startling first issue of the strangest series on the stands. An ancient being has its curiosity toward Earth reignited when the humans of the Apollo 10 mission make wishes over the moon. What is this spectral creature, and what does it want with our world? Seeing is believing. Seeing, see, eye collectors, see, yeah, you know. Page 4 / 358. The eyes have it. This is going to be more up my alley on page 6. Gehenna in Tokyo, one shot. Patrick Kinlan, Marco Ferrari, artwork by Atsuji Yamamoto. This is a standalone adventure set in the same world as hit series Gehenna Naked Aggression, as Gehenna travels to Japan to end the Yakuza contract on her life, but she finds they do business a little differently in the land of the rising sun. To say the least.
Artwork looks great.
Oh, it's great. It's excellent. A little bit of an Amanda Connor flair to it.
Mm-hmm.
Memories of Giselle, an original graphic novel by Katio Vecchio. A tender, coming-of-age, slice-of-life graphic novel that explores the psychological journey of a young woman carrying the weight of childhood trauma. Giselle grows up haunted by the constant memories of her grandmother and a single haunting image of a boat, a symbol of a trauma she has long since buried. As adolescence brings struggles with intimacy and vulnerability, fragments of her past begin to surface, leading her to a devastating truth she'd long since repressed. A harrowing yet deeply human coming-of-age tale about memory, trauma, and the courage it takes to reclaim one's life. Memories of Giselle, an original graphic novel by Katia Vecchio, on page 364 / page 10 of the Image catalog. Very down-to-earth slice-of-life artwork. All right. This looks awesome. Johnson Tomasi, on story. They're tag teaming here. Stefano Simeone on the artwork. It's a miniseries premiere, one of two. The $1 Trillion Kid. Among us are the Unbelievables and Tommy Townsend III, the world's first 13-year-old trillionaire, wants to find them. His world abounds with wonders and spectacle, including a robot bodyguard named Sterling, all trying to make the world a better place. But Tommy learns quickly that money can't buy everything and propels himself on a journey that sets the stage for this entire new universe. It's like, what if Richie Rich was more like a superhero? That's what we're going to get here with the $1 trillion.
Yeah, basically.
Yep. I'm all for it here. Page 14/368. Plus, it's Johns and Tomasi. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's a good combo.
Yep. Ah, yeah, baby. Yeah, woo. All right. Transformers, the movie, 40th anniversary edition, number 1 of 3. Story by the one and only Ralph Macchio, not the Karate Kid. Artwork by Don Perlin, Ian Aiken, and Brian Garvey. Celebrate the 40th anniversary of the movie that defined a generation. Experience this new printing of the limited series adapting one of the most iconic animated films of all time, the Transformers movie. Experience the trauma that we felt when we were kids.
Yep. I got the hardcover from last month, so I didn't get this.
Yeah, that's a bullet that I narrowly dodged, as I related in our last previews episode.
Mm-hmm.
But I have seen it now, and, I'd probably be on board with this, except I already have those 2 giant paperback omnibuses that they did of all the Marvel Transformers material from the 80s, and this is included in it. So, I'm
there you go. Excellent.
I didn't get those.
Well, this is good for people who did not get those or just want it on its own. So three issues to come here on page 370/page 16. They're not facsimiles, so you will not get your 80s advertisements with this, but you will get the story, and that's what matters most.
And newsprint.
Yes. And then more Universal Monsters, Blood of the Wolfman. Joshua Williamson this time on a Universal Monster story with Leo Max and Pip Martin. The Wolfman reborn for a new generation. Adam Yeager thought he could become someone new at college, but not like this. One moment he was partying. The next, he's recovering from a massacre that left almost no survivors. The worst part, he might be responsible. Also, he might play basketball. I'm sorry, wrong Wolfman.
You're right.
But, yeah. Blood of the Wolfman, number 1 of 4 here on page 17/371 for a brand spanking new take on the Wolfman. That artwork is excellent.
It's very nice.
Yep. Especially if you like wolves tearing things apart. All right, so as a reminder, these are new issues of Capes. We have caught up, and we are now getting brand spanking new stories in the Capes side of Invincible. So this is Capes issue 8, as Capes embarks on a murder mystery more personal than they ever imagined, and Bolt isn't about to sit on the sidelines. Plus, Robert Kirkman and Corey Walker present the next chapter of their Elemental backup story, the newest hero of the Invincible universe. And it's Kirkman and Walker, so come on.
Yeah. She's in the fighting game that's coming. Did it come out already, or is it coming out? I don't remember.
I believe it just entered beta, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
So it's coming out soon.
I saw the character reveal trailer for her in the game.
Yep. They're also putting out an Avatar: The Last Airbender fighting game.
Yes, I saw that. I don't know if I'm going to play that.
It looks pretty interesting. It looks pretty interesting.
It does look interesting, but like, I my video game bandwidth is only so wide.
Oh yeah. No, I get that. Page 21/375. Death Fight Forever gets its 5th and final issue here. Andrew McLean and Erwin Papa are the creative team behind that. So trade forthcoming on page 26/380. And Feral, 24th issue, as the CDC experiments on the bad kind go horribly wrong. Nothing possibly bad can come from these proceedings. Feral, issue 24 by Tony Fleeks. It's going to be fun and adventure and no blood whatsoever on page 29/383. All right. Most other Image stuff is ongoing, but as usual, G.I. Joe issue 23 is something that will be mentioned. Joshua Williamson. Who is Risk? The secret origin of G.I. Joe's most unpredictable member is revealed. But what will happen when Destro and Baroness meet again? Page 34/388 to find out what happens. And then in G.I. Joe Real American Hero, issue 329, G.I. Joe's most dangerous enemy, one of their own? Get ready for an unforgettable issue. Page 35/389.
It's a great Lee Weeks cover in that one.
Oh, yes, very much so. Yep. And we're in the Hama Files, issue 31. As it's Snake Eyes versus Destro for some old school Hama action here. It's on page 36/390.
Yeah, I think it's like something like that.
And Ghost Machine's third Ohatmu of 5. So you get more action with that and more covers that are very reminiscent of days gone by for both Marvel and DC.
And that I feel I have no choice but to purchase.
Yep.
It's a difficult decision.
Yeah. I'm not usually a variant person, but I'm afraid they've got me hook, line, and sinker with this one.
I don't always buy variants, but when I do, they're Ohatmu.
I kind of hope when they collect it that they'll include the covers, but there's no guarantee there.
I'm sure they probably will. Yeah, like I guarantee you, there'll probably be like a back section that has all of them in it. Maybe even like the black and whites of it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just don't think I should be getting this book if I haven't read any Ghost Machine yet. Is all.
I agree. So, Ghost Machine Official Handbook 3 of 5, page 37/391. Buy it if you're actually buying Ghost Machine. Otherwise. Well, I mean, look. Sometimes Ohatmus are a first for a comic reader. Not that anybody here has ever experienced that or anything, you know.
Literally, my first comic that I remember is the Official Handbook of the Marvel Universe Book of the Dead, 89 update. I think, like around the time of the 89 update.
I was teeing you up for that, Raph.
Yes, I know. Yes. I told the story so many times.
I know.
It's such a weird.
I know it's such a weird pull. It really is.
Literally though. I'll say it again. Like my mom just took the comic with the most words in it off the newsstand. It was like, here, you can read this. This is a comic book. This is what you want. Malicious compliance, Mom.
Yep. Can I just point out how happy I am with page 43/397 here. Invincible Universe Battle Beast issue 10. Battle Beast versus Conquest and the cover for this. It's so good.
Yes.
Oh my god. Kirkman, Otley, yeah. At long last, it's a fight everybody has always wanted. I most definitely have. Let's make this happen. Battle Wharf versus Conquest. Absolutely. Or is it Battle Dorn? I don't know. Either way.
Son of Morg.
All right. As we get further along, we're almost in the S's. I don't think I'm going to find it, but I don't think it's going to be here this month. We'll see.
Nope.
Oh, man. Spoilers. Nah, I didn't expect to find Saga anyway. But Narco number 4 of 5 here by Doug Wagner. So we're almost done with that miniseries. If you were waiting to check that out, page 49/403. And The Seasons reaches its 12th issue. Rick Remender, along with Paul Azaceta. So the 4 Seasons sisters are finally reunited, only to find themselves trapped in a world ruled by a malignant narcissist driven by a primal hunger for more. This is based on fiction. That's on page 55/409. And the second issue of Gail Simone She-Spawn on the next one, page 56/410. Gail Simone all over previews this month for various companies. That's what I like to see. Oh my God. This cover for Super Creep Show is everything. Creep, 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 creep. Brilliant. Attention, desecration of a tomb, I'm assuming is a bad thing, but yeah. Issue 4 or 5 here, Sam Humphries, Jackson Lanzig, Kelly, Sean Isaacs. The list goes on and on. Revenge is the sweetest gift. Showcase a retired super criminal whose past isn't quite done with him, and then the birth of a superhero with the ability to grant life. Yeah, that's not going to end well. Super Creep Show, issue 4 of 5 on page 58/412. In Transformers this month by Robert Kirkman, art not by Dan Mora, slacker. Jason Howard and Mike Spicer are the artwork this time around. Optimus's new Autobot team revealed, and a new team of Autobots remain on Earth under Optimus's leadership, but can they come together after the battle between Optimus and Alita? We'll find that out here on page 61/415. Also, the second of the Universal Monsters Creature from the Black Lagoon Lives Black and White Special number 2. So interesting how split Universal Monsters is. Like, there's monsters everywhere, I swear. But page 62/416 for the second issue of the Black Lagoon stuff. All right, and on we go to the trade paperbacks. And Joe Casey's Blood Squad 7 gets a volume 3. Collects 9 through 12 and the Blood Squad 7 yearbook, issue 1. That's on page 70/424. Matt Fraction's Casanova gets a compendium edition. Collects Casanova Luxuria 1 through 4, Casanova Gula 1 through 4, and Casanova Avarito 1 through 4. That's on page 71/425. Cyberforce, 90s. The classic series continues. This is that continuation. This is volume 2 of that, collecting 14 through 25 of Cyberforce, as well as the Origins, the Annual, Velocity, Ballistic, yada, yada, yada. That's all there for you on page 72/426. And the artist edition for the month, DC Silver Age Covers and Stories Artist Edition. So story by John Broome, Gardner Fox, Sheldon Meyer, art by Gil Kane. I got that Gil Kane. Carmine Infantino, Kurt Swan, and Sheldon Meyer. A collection of DC Silver Age art unlike any other. There's a one-of-a-kind look at artwork from DC Comics Silver Age that redefined Flash, Green Lantern, the Atom, and more in a gorgeous, oversized artist edition. Really love that they're doing this. This is an advanced solicit, so it will not be available until November. But this is a 15/22 size on the form factor for this. And it's $195 for 192 pages, so almost $1 a page. In fact, more than $1 a page by a couple of cents there on page 73/427. Geiger gets its 5th volume, 16 through 23 collected there on page 75/429. And Howard Chaykin's American Flag Omnibus on that next page, page 76/430, if you want that all in one package. Charles Soule's The Lucky Devils hardcover. This is also an advanced solicit. All 9 issues of Lucky Devils. Page 78/432. And Steve Orlando's Mirka Adolfo's Sweet Paprika Open for Business with art by Emilio Puglio. This collects all 5 issues of that on page 79/433. Ooh. Pride of Baghdad, one of Brian K. Vaughan's strongest, along with Nico. Amazing artwork by Nico Hemershon. This is the 20th anniversary hardcover of Pride of Baghdad. So,
Didn't this used to be at DC?
I don't think so actually.
Okay.
Maybe
Vertigo.
Let me see.
There was something very similar to this in title, anyway. It was a Tom King thing.
Sheriff of Babylon.
No. You know what, Raph, you are correct. Yeah, this was originally published. This was originally published with Vertigo. Back in September 13th, 2006. It came out with Vertigo, but obviously Brian K. Vaughan owns the rights to it. So
right.
So now Image is putting out their 20th anniversary edition of it. So yep, that did indeed initially start with Vertigo and has now made its way over to Image.
Well, Vertigo stopped existing for a while there too. So,
but then it came back in POG form.
Yes.
Page 80/434 for that brand spanking new edition of Pride of Baghdad. All right, and that is it with Image. So we'll get a couple of other big hits here. The Phantom versus the Red Dragons one shot. Ray Fox on the authoring here. Lin Yoshi on the artwork. The Phantom must die. But how do you kill a ghost? The Red Dragons are going to try, and anyone who gets in the way is just collateral damage. So nice one shot of the Phantom series here, as he takes on some baddies on page 445 of the Lunar Catalog. Dick Tracy has made its 18th issue. Alex Segura and Michael Morecci with artwork by Geraldo Borges. That's on page 451. Most of the rest of the stuff is ongoing, so let's get further down past that. Racer X gets its 8th issue. Mark Russell continuing the story of the unknown man that nobody knows the true identity of, we swear. Nuno Plati on the artwork there. That's on page 464. Ooh. Okay. Got to mention this. On page 467, a reprint of the Last Starfighter movie adaptation by Bill Mantlo, with artwork by Brett Blevins and Tony Sammons. In 1984, The Last Starfighter thrilled moviegoers all over, and for comic book readers hungry for more sci-fi, it was a revelation. Now the
a relevation, you mean?
Oh God.
A relevation. What?
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Murd. It was a relevation. You're 100% correct. I love that my brain corrected it, even though it was there.
Good for your brain, bad for the proofreader, or lack thereof, at Mad Cave.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. Now the 3-part comic adaptation of the beloved film gets new life in an exclusive collection. With covers by Jackson Geiss, story by Bill Mantlo, art by Brett Blevins. The Last Starfighter movie adaptation is a hidden gem, ripe for rediscovery. And glad to see this back in print. It's always great when these old movie adaptations are brought back in one form or another. And the fact that the art preview actually has the Marvel logo on it surprises the hell out of me. They're not just putting a Mad Cave on there instead of a Marvel. So nicely done. Yep. That's on page 467 of the catalog. Kenny Porter's New Space Age gets a trade paperback out of Mad Cave from page 471. Collects that in full. They're so spacey over there. And the Speed Racer Tales from the Road Volume 1 trade paperback, which has a whole bunch of different writers and artists associated with it, as they're just telling tales inside of the Speed Racer universe there. Page 473. Volume 7 of the Flash Gordon Classic Collection for us as well. Sunday strips from July 30th, 1967 to July 18th, 1971 of old school Flash Gordon there, 475. We're in Massive now, and Massive has a massive collection of Zorro for us. Zorro Man of the Dead, Volume 1. This one is limited to 250 available copies because it is a very sexy-looking hardcover version of it. I'm sure that there's a regular version, but this is the exclusive version. If you want something to put on your shelf, there on page 484 by Sean Gardner.
Yeah, like it looks like their version of Absolute.
Yeah, basically. Yep.
Yeah. All I can say is Master Classly. Master Classly.
Oh yeah. Yep. Totes. And there's an artist edition while we're at it, which is also limited to 250 available copies on page 486. And we go into the indies, the massive indies, that is. And the Albin brothers bring us Order Number 1. The Empire was built on fear, but fear is a poor cage for a son who still remembers his mother. Radek and his twin brother were torn from their mother when the founder rose as a tyrant emperor and unleashed reprisals to prove his absolute power. Now, after years of beatings in a distant coal mill, far from the memory of home, Radek must get his hands dirty to find his mother and take his life back. All that and more in the Albin Brothers, written and drawn, Order Number 1 on page 493. You should probably order it. Yeah. One of those middle months where a lot of stuff is mid-story. Notice on the bright side means I can skip down a decent amount. And Devil's Due. We don't often see a lot of Devil's Due these days, but Devil's Due 25th Anniversary Special on page 518. Josh Blaylock and his friends get together for a huge anniversary celebration for the publisher. And they're putting out this 25th anniversary celebration to celebrate it. Page 518. I feel like they only actually put out Devil's Due comics in maybe 15 of those 25 years. But nevertheless, it still counts. Yeah. Well, because Josh Blaylock basically, like, after they were bought, he bought the rights back to the name Devil's Due, but didn't necessarily buy back all the properties, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so, like, he owns it, but not everything went with him. Heavy Metal Magazine number 1 in hardcover here on page 524. So if you want some very, very cool comics in a very nice hardcover, you can get that there. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, the official script book out of Insight Editions, now available on page 531. So if you want to check out the script for the movie that was nominated for Best Picture in this cycle, you can find that out on page 531. Wait, what was the cocktails there? Yes. Gotham City cocktails. Yes. Love it. Official handcrafted food and drinks from the world of Batman. And have myself a Jokertini.
Oh, there's food in there, right? So I would definitely want to have young Bruce Wayne's My Parents Are Bread.
Oh, that was too easy.
It was very, very easy.
That was good. That was good, man. I applaud that. Yeah. Also, if they don't have a two-faced cocktail that somehow involves like two completely distinct things that you wouldn't expect to mix together, then that's a
waste.
Yeah, somebody's having a problem. Yep. 537 for that. All right. Do not disturb. That's issue 4. So guess what? You don't get to be mentioned past the name. Let's get us down into, if I can get us to Titan, I think that would probably be good right about now. Oh, I'll do this.
Oh, there was something in NBM too for me.
Well, good. Luckily, we're there right now.
Let me just see if I can find it. Yeah.
Well, while you're looking for it, I will mention the Beatles in comics. 3 of NBM's best-selling music biographies, that is, bundled together for a special price. So you get all the rock and roll set here, which includes all the Bob Marley, the Beatles, and the Rolling Stones, all in one collection on page 567.
There it is.
Nice.
Comics for foodies set. It's 4 books full of culinary cartooning For a special price, humans and pretty much everything else that wriggles around must eat to live, so why not enjoy it to the fullest? The incredible story of cooking outlines mankind's search for and development of all things both safe and delicious, while the secrets of chocolate and the art of sushi delve into the ins and outs of specific culinary traditions. And the initiates takes us on the artist's journey into professional winemaking, offering his own professional experience in return.
Interesting. That's pretty cool. I love bringing up food books like this that happen to be comics.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, that's why I brought it up.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Page 569 for that. And now we're in Oni. Mind Management, new and improved by Matt Kint. New agents, new missions, new beginnings. So if you're interested in more mind management, you got that there for you on page 573.
Oh, yeah, my Migmit.
Mind Migmit. Exactly. Migmit. And then Adventure Time Pride Special, PB and Marcy's Infinite Mixtape. This is a one-shot by Rosie Knight and Evgenia Varelli. So the first ever Adventure Time Pride Special is a ballad to beat. Congratulations, you're a top listener of the Scream Queens, and we have a special treat. Lead singer Marceline the Vampire Queen and her girlfriend Princess Bubblegum have created a brand new, never-before-heard mixtape commemorating their anniversary. And Martin Shkreli is going to buy it. No. But what happens when a rewind through memory lane makes them realize that they've been looking at things through rose-colored glasses? And are they really that out of tune, or is someone else playing them like a fiddle? Find out more in Adventure Time Pride Special, PB and Marcy's Infinite Mixtape number 1. More than one of them exists on page 578. And let's see whether or not Rick and Morty is really gone. Yep.
Oh,
I don't.
What's the end?
Yeah, that's it. It's gone for now until whatever next publisher it winds up with. So they weren't lying.
Oh, we had a gorilla sighting back there.
Oh, yes, we did.
Because gorillas sell comics, as we know. And here's an original graphic novel called Nothing Can Stop the Ape. Written by Tom Snygoski and Janine Atchison, with art by Craig Russo. It's about a kid whose mother is possessed by an ancient goddess, and he has to summon the spirit of an ancient chaos gorilla to defeat said goddess and rescue his mother.
Man, I used to love the albums that Ancient Chaos Gorilla came out with in the 70s. Like that was good stuff.
Man, what a great time listening to those in the 80s as a kid, because your parents had the records. Oh,
yep. My favorite was Banana 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 Banana. Page 595 for that ape action there.
That sounds like something from Gene Belcher's record collection.
Yes, it very much does, actually.
Oh, and a Loud House 10th anniversary special, which is like the 27th Loud House comics collection that Paper Cuts has put out.
Yep.
They've had some success with these, apparently, and I've been contributing to that because I bought every single one.
Very good. Yeah, 10 years, man. That's a long time to be publishing anything, and glad to see Loud House is succeeding for them.
Well, I don't think they've been publishing them for 10 years, but the show's been on the air for 10 years.
Well, there you go. Mm-hmm. It feels like it's been 10 years because, like you said, there have been like 27 different collections. So, yep. The Stone of Shiro, The Fall of Shiro by Sue Ruffle and Stefano Spaziani. Why Kale? He doesn't want to be a hero, but he's their only hope. So many people are people's only hopes. The magical realm of Shiro, life for the young mushling Kale is anything but easy. He's stuck with rowdy housemates, falling behind at school and barely scraping by as a part-time busboy. His only joys are his beloved pet truffles and a strange blue button he wears for protection. Kale just wants to be left alone with Truffles, but when alien invaders steal the magical stone that protects his world, Kale is unwittingly thrust into a perilous quest to find it. That is The Stone of Shiro, The Fall of Shiro by Sue Ruffle on page 602. That sounds like some good times.
Yeah, the artwork is very pretty.
Oh, yeah. Wonderful artwork, yeah.
It's basically about a bunch of gelflings who live in the Mushroom Kingdom and have McJobs.
Gelfling.
Thank you.
Ooh, it's the best part of the movie.
Oh, yeah. Disney Science and Comics, Life in the Seas. Glad that Disney's doing the educational comics on page 609.
With help from the cast of Finding Nemo.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, so we are almost there. And the Three Stooges 10th anniversary special. Yeah, they've had more than 10 anniversaries, but this
yeah. I guess it's the 10th anniversary of the first Three Stooges comic published by this company.
Yes.
Yeah.
The erstwhile American mythology.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, at least they actually list who the writers are going to be and the artists are going to be, because I remember multiple times where we've looked at that and it's been like writer, TBD, artist, whoever. But this time we know it's S.A. Check, James Kahoric, and Rich Gallo with artwork by Brendan and
Oh
Brian.
my God.
Hmm?
These guys have been... I remember when they first started publishing. I was still at Diamonds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I remember these guys.
Nice.
What a crazy... They've lasted 10... They have made Three Stooges comics in the 21st century for 10 years.
Yeah.
In an environment where most of the people who grew up with the Three Stooges are probably no longer alive.
Well...
Like the original run, not in syndication or any subsequent reruns.
Yeah.
It's very impressive.
The Stooges are definitely not alive. I'll tell you that much.
Well,
but
yeah, I mean,
not
like
for a long time.
Yeah.
Not for I don't think. I think they all died before I was born.
Yeah.
They certainly didn't live to see the 21st century.
No.
Right.
Although one thing that I'm glad that they didn't have to worry about. I mean, because it wasn't British, but like I can only imagine what U.S. properties would have been like if we had followed the British idea of taping over things. You know, like so many of those early shorts and stuff like that would have been lost to time had they not been preserved. And I'm very glad that they were, because I think there's only a few Stooges shorts that have been lost to time over the years. Most of them have been preserved in one way or the other. So good to see that. On a related note, they just found another Doctor Who episode. So,
yeah, none of them lived past 1975.
Yep. Wow. And Silent Night, Deadly Night, Dark Winter #1, because it's clearly time for Christmas on page 627. Yeah. You know what? I'm skipping it.
Well, me too, but I do applaud them for giving us this take on Christmas at a time other than Christmas.
Yes, very, very nice. Oh my God. All right, page 632 here. Plan 59 from Outer Space by Michael Dulce and James Massia. Back in 57, Ed Wood brought us a movie about aliens who tried to raise the dead to destroy humanity in order to prevent a galaxy-destroying weapon that they believed we would one day create. This is Plan 9 from Outer Space. Obviously, plans 1 through 8 failed. And spoiler alert, but frankly, the movie has been out for 63 years now, so there shouldn't be much to spoil. So did Plan 9. But what happened in the years since 1957? Did the aliens just give up? Were they going to cease their plan to stop us and save the galaxy? Of course not. Almost 60 years had passed, and in that time, they've attempted to destroy us nearly 50 more times, and humanity has become quite adept at fighting them off. But today, they are coming back for their 59th plan, a plan that is so nefarious, it just might work. This pleases me to no end.
This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a great pitch, but can they stick the landing?
That's the question.
We shall see, man. I mean, Plan 9 from Outer Space is one of the best Mystery Science Theater 3000s of the entire run.
It should be, because Plan 9 from Outer Space is one of the most famous bad movies of all time.
Hell yeah. Yep. So
along with Manos, the Hands of Fate.
But page 632 here. I really do hope they stick the landing, because it sounds awesome. Plan 59 from Outer Space. Great artwork. Exactly what I would want from something like that, quite frankly. All right, let's head down to Titan. A whole bunch of pre-code stuff that we can skip as it's mid-story. 2000 AD. Nothing really of note in 2000 AD. So onward. You know what? Actually, one quick thing. Roy of the Rovers, Volume 1 by Rob Williams and Ben Wilshire. Once a mighty team in English soccer, Melchester Rovers are now a pale imitation of what they once were. Languishing around the bottom half of the table in League 2, the future is looking decidedly grim for the club. Enter Roy Race, a 16-year-old striker with a lethal left foot and a burning desire to play for the club he has supported all of his life. Could he be the spark that reignites the Rovers after years in the wilderness? Well, you'll find that out here in Volume 1 of Roy of the Rovers by Rob Williams on page 679.
This is a revamp of a long-time classic of British sporting comics.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Eamon Clark could tell you all about it.
Indeed. Yep. Everything comes back to 2000 AD, after all. Okie dokie. And on we go to Titan. Let's see if they have anything of note this month that isn't Conan.
If they don't, tomorrow certainly does.
Oh, yeah. Okie dokie. You know, I'm somehow going to skip the Adam Hughes this month and the things that need bars stopping us from seeing the full artwork. Because pinups are great and all, but you know, what are you going to do? Conan the Barbarian, number 32 by Jim Zub. That's obviously still great comic books, so do check that out. Savage Sword of Conan Reforged, number 1 by Roy Thomas and Barry Windsor Smith and John Buscema. Page 724 there. Old school reprints.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
I still need to get into the current series. I gotta find Volume 1.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Conan the Barbarian, the original comics omnibus, Volume 8. Now they're just chopping the Marvel off entirely and keeping everything else, which is fine.
Not bothering to add a Titan banner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow, by Christopher Priest and Val Samix.
Ooh.
The era-defining run building up to issue 200 of the old Marvel series and a showdown with the Devourer of Souls, featuring an all-new introduction by Priest himself.
Very cool. Nice. The legend of Conan never dies. Blade Runner Tokyo Nexus, second issue of that new series there on page 731. And as stated, pretty much everything else is mid-storyline.
Now that's an interesting thing here. This is an original hardcover graphic novel set parallel to the main events of the main plot of H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. It's from the POV of the crew of the ironclad ship HMS Thunderchild. Anybody who's ever read the original novel or listened to the 70s prog rock opera tone poem, the same title, is familiar with the Thunderchild. Thunderchild has its own hype track on that album.
Nice.
So yeah, if this were softcover, I would be buying it.
And most importantly, this doesn't have Tom Cruise running through the streets of New Jersey and Boston. So that's fine by me.
Also, no Ice Cube.
Yes.
Right. No Ice Cube sitting in front of a monitor with the webcam.
No, definitely not. God, why did they do that? All right, fine.
Because it was the pandemic and they were desperate to put something in theaters, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah.
Generate some kind of content.
Page 743. The worst part, Murd, is that it didn't even come out until afterwards. Like, it didn't come out until like last year.
I guess the question is, why did they bother to release it at all?
Exactly.
They should just left it in the vault. Hey, they vaulted Batgirl. Why couldn't they vault this?
Oh my God! Oh, and speaking of which, official release date now for the
Coyote versus Acme.
Coyote versus Acme. Yep, exactly. Yep, yeah.
I will be there. That's worth going to the theater to see.
Amen to that. Peanuts, Your Choice, Snoopy, 21st book in the series of 125 pages of classic strips from 1967 of the Peanuts there on page 750. And manga-wise, Strange Pictures Volume 1, manga adaptation of Uketsu's best-selling mystery phenomenon. The novel has sold 5 million copies worldwide. It's a Barnes & Noble Best Book of 2025. And this is the manga adaptation of Strange Pictures. So do check that out if you're interested or you've read the book on page 743. From Uketsu, author of best-selling novels Strange Pictures and Strange House. All right, let's head over to tomorrow's. And boy, oh boy, we got ourselves the Crisis Companion, baby.
Mm-hmm. Brought to us by hard-working writer Kevin Miller, who put the oodles of research into this thing. He consulted all kinds of primary and secondary sources. He interviewed me about it. He interviewed Peter Rios about it. Lots of familiar sources will be quoted in this book. He covered infinite bases in bringing you this multifaceted new analysis of the epical 1986 maxi series, or 85 maxi series, that is.
Yep. Very much looking forward to checking it out. And I will mention to be polite, the Crisis Companion with Kevin Miller did have a Comic Geek Speak episode recently. So anybody who's interested in checking out their interview with him can check out episode 2061 from March if you do want to check that out. But definitely check the book out, as I am very interested to see the behind the scenes of one of the most important stories in the history of comics.
Yeah, I'm hoping that a comp copy of this finds its way to me at some point. So
absolutely. Yep. And if it doesn't, Murd, it'll find its way to you. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, crisis, absolutely.
Yep.
That was my last one. My gun's empty.
Oh no! It's fine. We're almost done. We're almost done anyway. So, page 766 for that, and then great back issue magazine this month as well.
Ooh,
yep.
Amanda Waller.
It's a support staff issue, which is something they do semi-regularly, where they spotlight different famous supporting characters. Mm-hmm. Cover featuring Amanda Waller here, but also some talk with Daredevil's pal Foggy Nelson, Mary Jane Watson, Crypto the Superdog, and more. Plus a look back at Bronze Age letter hacks.
Ooh, nice. Good stuff.
Several of whom went on to have professional careers of their own.
And the comic book creator this month is also something to look at.
Oh, Gene Colan,
man.
Gene the Dean.
Mm-hmm.
Great Daredevil versus Stiltman cover there. And if you could scroll up a little bit, there's a good issue of Alter Ego on stands this month as well.
Of course.
I think we...
Yep.
201.
There it is. Okay. Edited by Roy Thomas, as always. And it's focusing on one of my idols and role models in comics history, E. Nelson Bridwell, that walking encyclopedia of comics history and other fun subjects like the Bible, Shakespeare, and the Oz books. And it's focusing on his professional career here, including some of his most famous creations, the Inferior Five, right there on the cover.
Nice. Very cool. Good month for tomorrow's. Very, very good month.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. That's on page 768. Yep. And the final issue of Brick Journal, I want to point out. The legacy of Brick Journal editor Joe Menno by completing his final issue, which was in progress at the time of his passing, and includes heartfelt tributes to the beloved curator of Lego fandom. So any of you Lego fans out there, they're putting out one more Brick Journal in honor of the departed Joe Menno. So once again, do check that out on the bottom there of page 768 if you are a Lego fanatic. All right. See if anything's hiding on the bottom here from Udon.
Oh,
Not
right there.
really. Oh,
Yep.
there we go.
Yep. I do enjoy a good villain spotlight issue, and this is a one-shot focusing on Mega Man's arch-rival, Dr. Wily.
Yep. Tavis Maiden story, Ryan Hampole on the artwork there, and yeah, good times. Very few people have a mustache or hair as rememberable as Dr. Wily. So 788 for that. And then Street Fighter Masters, Ken #1. Ken gets a spotlight issue on page 780 if you're a Ken fan.
Which is ridiculous because his last name is Masters, so it's Street Fighter Masters, Ken Masters.
I know, exactly. But my favorite is the cover D.
Yes.
Because nothing is better than a Ken doll.
He is Kenuff.
Yes.
He most definitely is. Yep. All right, and we will call it quits with that. So we made it through once again. Job well done, gentlemen.
And it only took us nearly 4 hours this time.
Oh my god. This was a long one this time.
I know, yeah. Well, technically, we did start late, so that's. But yeah, probably closer to about 3.5. But in the long run, yeah, this is yeah, this is still a long one. But we didn't put an episode out last week, so now people will have plenty of time to listen to this and get their orders in for the month. So
also, DC put so many good trades out this month.
I know, yeah.
I had to make some hard decisions.
Well, good. Don't bring yourself bankrupt. Just, remember that things will go on sale eventually if you don't buy them right now.
Right. Let me see. What did I end up?
Oh, boy. I don't want to know.
Order history. Let's take a look.
Oh, no. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Oh, geez. Oh, no. Let's see. We only ended up with like 3 trades, I think.
Okay.
4.
All right.
I got the Mirror War. I got the Mirror War from IDW. I got the Billy Bat manga because that looked really interesting. I got the Absolute Manhunter 2 because I have Absolute Manhunter 1 right here, and Nova Centurion actually.
Okay.
I don't buy omnibus because they're just massive and I don't have the space for them. So I stick with soft covers. So there's no way I'm buying those big omnibus. I would love Commandy. You
and Shane both. You and Shane both. Too much.
It's just like if the spine cracks on them and they get destroyed, it's impossible to replace.
Yep. Raph, you want to give folks a reminder on where they can find you when you are not on the show?
I am all over the internet at Raph Does Stuff. Primarily, I am a weekend Twitch streamer. Every other weekend, I run a D&D campaign called Okura on the Edge. It's a homebrew world that I created, and I play with my friends who are gonna get put through emotional hell because that's what I like to do to my friends. You can ask Ian.
I have no idea what you're talking about. None whatsoever. It's true.
I also talk comics, movies, some pop culture stuff, and whatever people want. I do not know how to shut up often, so that's a good outlet for that.
Yeah.
So that I can come here and I can be a little more restrained because I've already said a billion other tangential things there on my stream.
Also, a quick note: we will be releasing the episode on the Comic Timing feed at some point, but myself, Chris Naudis, Jamal Eigel, Brandon Christopher, and Chris Naudis were on Questions We Don't Have Answers, the most recent episode that was released, Donovan Morgan Grant's podcast, talking why aren't comic books more popular in America. And I think we did a damn fine job of tackling as much as possible behind it. And I always love talking with Dono in general. So do check that out at qnoanswers.com if you're interested. And again, it'll run probably within the next couple of weeks here on the feed. I've got at least one more syndicated episode I got to put out because I still haven't put out my comic book Mike Atchison episode to the feed. So, but good times on that. And Murd, always a pleasure, my friend. And I will see you in a few days.
Oh, yep. It's going to be a fun time. Fellowship shall abound.
Damn, Skippy. And with that, credits. Email address for Comic Timing is comictiming@gmail.com. We're at facebook.com/Comic Timing, where you can find the Comic Timing fan group as well. Please join in on the conversation. We're happy to have you and talk to your heart's content over there. You can also find us on video versions over at YouTube at youtube.com/@Comic Timing Podcast. Leave comments there as well. Feel free to do so. We're on Blue Sky as Comic Timing. We're on Instagram as Comic Timing Podcast, and we're also on Threads as Comic Timing Podcast as well. For Raph, for Murd, for me, reminding everybody out there that there's always time for 3-hour podcasts, and there's always time for comics.